Stem Against Genocide. It's the people's favorite podcast. I'm your host, Jaden, joined by, as usual,
Owen.
You just said it. You just said it this time. We're back.
No. I didn't say it. I said it early. I said it before you were ready this time.
I guess
the defiance is still here.
Why are you so defiant?
I don't know, because one of our viewers liked it.
Which one?
Jack.
Are you sure? Okay.
My brain. Yeah. Jack liked the defiance, so yeah.
He
defiance.
hasn't even listened to our most recent episode.
No, but I'm not sure if anyone has. So
probably not. It's pretty bad, to be honest.
It's bad. Yeah. It's long.
It's not as long as the other one, though.
No, it's not. But the other one has at least some stuff to say. I think it was actually a really good episode.
Yeah.
Decent episode in retrospect, even though we thought it was really bad at the time.
We didn't think it was really bad at the time. We thought it was bad at the time. There's a difference. Yeah. Learn the difference.
Yeah, and then really isn't. And then the most recent episode was terrible.
100 Line.
But here we are.
For hopefully just a normally bad episode of Stem Against Genocide. Owen, what game have we been playing? And by we, I mean you, for once, finally.
Yeah. Well, I've been playing it for a while. It's not, true. But this is the first one that we're covering on the channel that I've been the one playing that we haven't both been playing. And that's Fire Emblem 4 Genealogy of the Holy War. You thought I was going to say Musume or something, didn't you?
No, I thought you were going to say the name of the game, which you did. Also,
wow, you have faith in me. That's adorable.
Don't say it like that. Because that's just uncomfortable. Nobody wants to hear you say that. And what year did Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War come out?
I don't know. I can look it up.
Well, I know. This is like a trivia question.
I don't know. I'm gonna take a guess.
Okay, go ahead and guess.
I'm going to say this is a 97 production.
Oh, so close. 96.
Oh, okay. Let me bring up my fact sheet. And by fact sheet, I mean the Fire Emblem wiki.
The fandom one or the good one?
Yeah, the bad one.
Oh, okay. Great. You're gonna learn all about
nothing. Fire Emblem I'm not actually gonna read it.
Fire Emblem Descent of Jihad featuring Zigludo.
I see.
I don't think I ever told you about Descent of Jihad. What a shame.
No. I'm seeing that the producer was Gunpei Yokoi.
Gunpei Yokoi, classic guy, classic producer on many things.
Gunpei Yokoi. Yeah, I didn't know that until now. The other, obviously Kaga and
of course, God bless Shozo Kaga.
Sugiyoko, I'm aware of.
Who the fuck is that? I have only ever said Kaga.
No, Sugiyoko did a lot of the music.
And I cannot tell you the name of a single composer for any 17 of the 17 Fire Emblem games, which is a shame, honestly, because they generally have good music, but they don't. Yeah. They're not, real characters in the same way someone like
I know who Yuka Sugiyoko is.
Why?
Because she's awesome.
What's her non-Fire Emblem credits? Battle Clash, Metal Combat Falcon's Revenge, international versions of Tetris Attack, Paper Mario 1 and Thousand Year Door. And then she has credits for remixes in Smash, Brawl, 3DS and Wii U, and Ultimate.
Yeah. Okay. She's great.
I mean, I believe it. I'm just like, I wasn't expecting it.
IMDb says she's most known for Smash Ultimate, which is really funny, considering I don't think she directly wrote anything for it.
She might have done some arrangements, but it was probably because, she has, credits for a bunch of stuff.
A bunch of things she did make have been ripped into it, yeah.
She did the music for Pokemon Picross, holy fuck! That's awesome.
Is this the Oh my god, the Sue always throws me off as far as Japanese sounds.
Okay.
Japan, like it for some reason it precludes my brain from perceiving like comprehending the rest of the name, even though the rest of the name is just Gyoko. So Yuka Tsujioko. Yeah, is this a Yuka Tsujioko like admiration episode? It can be.
It could
That wasn't
be.
the plan, but it could be.
I mean, FE4 has some fucking bangers in it. Thracia, some bangers.
She made she did about she was the sound supervisor for Engage, so and Three Houses, so it's good.
Oh yeah, 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 man. I'll actually, those games do both have pretty good music.
Oh well, then yeah, I guess she
Outside
did
of the
something
one
right.
song for Engage, but we don't gotta talk about that one. The one thing from Engage that you've ever heard in your life, the record. That you may not remember, but you did hear.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't remember it. I hear a lot of things.
You do hear so many things.
What is okay? I'm looking up one of her works. What is this? Oh, it's a GBA title.
What are you looking at?
I'm not sure. Is it Croket or Croket or Croket Great Juko no
Boukensha?
Boukensha? Well, I've never heard of this before.
Neither have I. It's
What is this?
It's one of those games.
This is deeply.
They made many games.
The many games have been made. What is this game? This is interesting.
Describe what you're seeing. Describe what you're learning.
Describe. Okay, so there's some kid with this whack-ass red and bright blue helmet and bright purple hair sticking out in like pigtails. On a beach fighting purple men, some of which have tails.
Awesome.
And then here's a green demon guy with blue hair.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what genre of game this is. It looks like it's a Fire Emblem, but I'm not entirely sure.
Well, it could be.
Like this is the image I'm basing that off of. For you Jane viewers, you will not see this. Like that makes me think it's a Fire Emblem.
It looks more like a Final Fantasy Tactics to me. But yes.
Oh, okay. I'm just not very well versed. There's Fire Emblems and then there's Civ.
Croket, Great Jikuu no Boukensha is a strategy game released for Game Boy Advance and was developed and published by Konami in December 2004 in Japan. It is the 7th game in the Croket ! Series.
7th?
Yep.
So this must have not done horribly.
It was the penultimate game in the series.
Okay, well the series must not have been
the series lasted from 2002 to 2005.
How did it get 8 titles in 3 years?
We got Croket Yume no Banker Survival in 2002, Croket Kindan no Kinka Box in 2003, Croket 2 Yami no Bankto Banjo 2003, Croket 3 Granyu Wokoku no Danzo 2003, Croket Bano no Kiku o Tsukue 2004, Croket 4 Bank no Mori no Mamorigami 2004, of course, we've been discussing Croket Great Jikuu no Boukensha 2004, and finally, in 2005, Croket DS Tenku no Yusha Tachi.
Okay. What do any of those mean, might I ask, if you know?
Why are you asking me?
They're basic translations. Because you're, like, learning Japanese and about to... Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so our classic one, from that we've been learning about from Yuki Tsujiyoko, Croket Great Jikuu no Boukensha, would be a great adventure of space-time.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
There's your one. You're not getting
And
any more
it's
out of me.
and it's beachy.
There is at least a beach. And that's
Oh,
screenshot.
everything I'm seeing for it is beachy.
Um,
Oh, okay. It may also be a Mario.
it may also be a Mario.
Check that out.
Oh, okay. It could be a Mario.
Yeah.
The people are indeterminate so far.
Yeah.
Well, it was described as a strategy game in the one paragraph we got of it. Oh, okay. There's a Croket fandom wiki.
Okay, I'm gonna say this image is inaccurate.
It's
the image I've just posted.
Croket is a manga that ran from 2001 to 2006 that got 8 tie-in video games we're learning.
Okay.
That
Oh
doesn't look like Croket 2004 to me. That looks like a not that.
Oh my god, they've got a villain with gay hair.
What do you mean by gay hair?
Check it out. That's some gay hair.
That's just an afro. That's a rainbow.
Yeah. Rainbow afro, i.e. gay hair.
Sure.
They're
on the fucking Game Boy player. Shout out to the Game Boy player. Oh, and what's the Game Boy player?
No idea. Oh, another thing I don't think it is that images show it as. Okay, this one I'm actually going to describe because this one's really funny. It's a eBay link, or that says Croket Great Jikuu Nintendo Game Boy Advance GBA Japanese eBay, and then the image is the GBA March of the Penguins in English. If you don't know about the GBA March of the Penguins, you should do yourself a favor and find out about the GBA March of the Penguins.
Yeah, you want to.
GBA March of the Penguins is awesome. Because classic 2005 film March of the Penguins needed a GBA release, game release.
It did. That's like the tragedy of modern tie-in games. They don't get Game Boy Advance games. They get like a Fortnite skin. That's it.
Well, granted, I would go for if there was a March of the Penguins skin in Fortnite, maybe I'd be more tempted to play Fortnite.
I don't think that's true.
This may be a quality thing, rather than I don't know.
Could you imagine if they like made a Game Boy Advance tie-in game for Miho Haneke's 1997 classic Funny Games? Which would be crazy considering the Game Boy Advance was not out in 1997. But like, for the 2007 remake, they could be like really behind on the times, not quite up to the Nintendo DS yet. They were like, fuck it, GBA is good enough.
GBA is always good enough.
It pretty much is, honestly. I love me some Nintendo DS, but the Game Boy Advance is kind of all you need.
I've never actually played on a Nintendo Advance, and have on a Wii.
Nintendo Advance.
DS. Nintendo Game Boy Advance. Yeah, Game Boy Advance. I've never actually played on one. Have you?
I've owned 2 in my lifetime.
Okay.
I've owned, never at the same time. I owned a Game Boy Advance SP, the revised model that has like the clamshell design, like the DS. Except it's not very comfortable. But it does have a rechargeable battery and a backlight, because the original LCD wasn't backlit like all the the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, but not with the GBA Micro. Shout out the GBA Micro. But my R button broke on that one, so I eventually caved and bought one online that I'd already had a backlight mod installed. That was many years ago. I still have it. I still love it. I still use it. Except the screen has gotten pretty bad now, and I was looking, okay, what's the price to buy just another one that's backlit mod? Significantly more expensive than it was when I first bought this, so I don't think that's happening. That's fine. But have you ever played a GBA game? Ever?
I mean, maybe.
Have you
I'm not
played
sure.
Pokemon Emerald?
Yes. Okay, no, I have.
Okay.
I did have a bad thought.
Okay.
Am I allowed for one of our future games to recommend you something I haven't played?
That would depend, I think.
What if I were to recommend to you, and I've watched a full playthrough of it,
Okay.
March of the Penguins for GBA. It's really bad. It's really unfun. There's nothing good about it. But I do love it with all my heart. I have seen a full playthrough of it.
That's one we'll get there when we get there.
Okay. I probably won't recommend it. It's actually really awful.
Uh-huh.
It's genuinely one of the most boring, terrible games I've ever seen. But I love March of the Penguins. Let me send you a screenshot of. Or are you aware of the gameplay?
Not really. I'm just seeing that it has a average rating of a 1.0 on Backlogged. So,
yeah. Yeah.
Is it a Lemming? So it's like Lemmings?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's trying to be educational, but it's not all that educational.
Mm-hmm.
It's I mean, yeah. It's so good. But as opposed to the game that we're here to talk about today,
Which is not
which
good?
is great.
No, it's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, we're ostensibly here to talk about it. We don't have to.
We don't have to.
I would like to, maybe, but, like, you know.
Probably. I do have thoughts on it.
Yeah. It is, as always, more of a suggestion to talk about the game.
Yeah. Except the 100-line episode where we couldn't talk about the game, but we only tried to talk about the game.
And it's all your fault.
Thanks to me. Yes. 100% my fault. Not 100% my fault. Almost 100% my fault.
Yeah.
I mean, it's partially our audience's fault.
That's true.
For not, like, being bigger and not having already played it.
Yeah. But it's your fault for caring.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You should put that on my gravestone. It's your fault for caring. That'd be awesome.
If I'm alive by the time you die, I'll make sure to remember that one.
Okay.
Just for you.
Yeah.
Oh, and do you have any history with Fire Emblem as a series?
No. I mean, maybe like a few turns at one point of like something when I was much younger.
Uh-huh. How do you feel about the series representation in the fighting game series Super Smash Brothers?
I like Corrin.
It's so funny. It's funny every time you say that.
I know.
You heard it here first, folks. Owen likes barefoot anime waifu.
I'm no.
That's what you just said. You like Corrin.
Corrin can also be a husbando.
Sure.
At least in Smash. I assume they wouldn't just do that in Smash.
Yeah, but it doesn't change. I don't care about the gender. I care about the feet.
Okay. They're fun in Smash. And like their arm dragon thing is cool, and then they like turn into a dragon into a whirlpool, and it's pretty sick. And they've got like back spikes. They've got a fun up smash. Frankly, they're just the way I play them. They're almost basically just worse in every way than Palutena, who's like probably my main of mains. Other than like they've got a sword, but I'm not good with sword characters, so I don't use it very well, and just try to do all the Palutena things on Corrin. But it turns out better for me than like any of the other sword characters. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it's good enough for you. It's all right. Have you ever seen like the full dragon form of Korin? Like what it actually looks like when they're fully transformed?
I mean, they do that in their Ultimate in Smash, I assume.
I don't know. I
Or,
don't play Smash. I certainly don't
yeah,
play Korin.
they turn into a dragon, and it's got like antlers, I think.
Yeah, it's like a curing thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Fuck Korin. Fuck
It's-
Fire Emblem Fates. This game's dog shit.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. They've got a cool vibe. I'm sure their game is phenomenal.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, probably not. But based on what I've heard from you, but
Me and only me.
Yeah, but I like their design. It slaps. It beats all the other, maybe other than Lucina, it beats all the other Fire Emblem characters. Roy's okay.
Roy is
Marth's
mid.
boring looking.
That's so rude.
He's boring looking. Marth's cool to fight against. I can't play him. I'm not good. Well, I can hit buttons while playing as him. To be clear, I'm not a good Smash player.
This is true.
I'm infinitely better than I think you've ever seen. Because I had a flip of my Switch clicked and I learned how to play Palu and Rob.
You might want to run
pretty
that sentence
effectively.
back one more time.
I flipped a switch in my brain and I learned how to and I kind of just learned how to play Palu and Rob.
Okay, that's more like it.
What did I say?
I'm not quite sure, but some verbs were tensed in wrong or borderline incomprehensible ways.
Yeah, that's fair.
Probably.
that.
I could have simply also misheard. I guess the tapes will show.
Yeah.
This
don't know.
this is being recorded.
We've got one viewer who will probably comment about this.
Yep.
If that's you, do it.
Yeah. If
Farm
it's not
let's
you,
farm that engagement. If it's not that you, do it anyway.
do it. Like, comment, subscribe. Are all the buttons like doing the little glow effects that YouTube added for some fucking reason? Because they're terrible. They better be.
Notifications on. Ding-a-ling-a-ling that bell.
That's right. That's right.
And buy our nutritional supplements.
Yep.
Link in the description.
Should we get sponsored by Soylent? Your favorite film?
Yes! We should be sponsored by the script of Soylent Green.
Yeah.
How does one do that?
I don't know, man. I think everybody involved in the production of that film is probably dead or nearing dead.
How to get sponsored by Soylent Green.
I don't
What
know
does
if you're
Google
gonna
say?
find it.
AI says, the question asks how to get sponsored by Soylent Green, but Soylent Green is a fictional product in a 1973 movie and not a real company or product. Therefore, there's no legitimate way to get sponsored by a fictional product with such a dark origin.
Rats.
Guys, did you know Soylent Green is people?
What? You spoiled the movie. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's almost like I spoil Soylent Green every few months.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know if
For
you can
shits and
spoil
giggles.
Soylent Green.
That's kind of the point. It's borderline impossible to spoil.
It's very Planet of the Apes coded. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
perhaps only knows the thing and not anything else about the movie.
Yeah. What a movie.
Yeah.
It's not even very good.
Well, hold on.
It's mid. It's fine.
It's not mid. Put some respect on director Richard Fleischer.
I'm not going to say it's a great movie.
You don't have to say it's great, but there are several there are at least 2 tiers in between mid and great.
Okay, fair. It's a decent movie.
Alright, okay, I'll take that. Well, we can live with that one.
But it is spoiling. It is maybe one of my favorite bits.
It's
Surprised
also,
I haven't already done it on this podcast.
It's also one of the favorite bits of Tetsuya Takahashi in 1998's Xenogears. Because he's the world's least subtle man with his homages. And then Master Detective Archives Raincoat would proceed to rip that scene off wholesale, which is already just doing the Soylent Green thing. Oh, and you should play Raincoat.
No, I shouldn't. I've got no sleep. Are you keeping track of all the games we've mentioned?
Yep, pretty much.
Great. You should label each Croket game
No.
separately.
Nope.
You should.
That's why we have the parenthetical series.
Damn.
You fucking idiot.
No, I knew that. I just didn't want you to, which is why I said if I didn't know that, this wouldn't have come up at all.
We equally have the password to the YouTube account. You can change the description if you want after this is uploaded.
No, not happening.
Well, if you want it so bad, there's only one way you're gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make our viewers riot. I totally get it.
We don't have any.
No,
viewers.
this isn't the hill I'm going to die on. So
Yeah, you should choose one a couple lanes over.
Yeah.
So unlike you, and I do have history with Fire Emblem. I am tragically what one could call a Fire Emblem fan, maybe even aficionado, connoisseur perhaps. Except I haven't really liked a new Fire Emblem game in like 8 years. But that's fine. That's fine. My first game was Shadow Dragon on the Nintendo DS, the remake of the first game, the second remake of the first game. It's pretty sick. We'll talk about some stuff with it later. I can't remember when I first played Genealogy, because I got into the series circa 2013, 2014, pre-Fates. Fates is my first new release, so you know I am what one could call an awakening baby. Except I don't. Do people still use that term? Considering Awakening is older than FE7, the first English game in the series was when Awakening came out. It's a fun fact for all y'all. But you know I played Genealogy sometime in the period of like 2016, 2015, 2017. Well, not before 2017 probably. Let's call 2016. But maybe before even. And I'm like, yeah, this game is sick. And I still think the game is sick, dude. I replayed it last year with only substitute units. Well, no, I replayed it getting all the substitute units. I did not replay it only using the substitute units, let me be clear.
Yeah, that's a very, very different thing.
Yeah.
That, our viewers aren't going to understand probably what that means.
Yes, they will, because they have all played and have a deep understanding of the mechanics of Fire Emblem Genealogy, the Holy War.
No, not a one of them.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, so we're just going to assume they understand it and not explain?
Yes. Well, that's because they do understand it. And if they don't, let's say hypothetically they didn't understand it.
Okay. Yeah.
They could go to fireemblemwiki.org/wiki.
No. If they don't, if they hypothetically don't understand it, we're going to explain it to them.
I don't think much needs to be explained.
So the gimmick of the game is that
Gimmick is that has some negative connotations.
It does, but I don't think it should. Okay. Hot take. Hot take. I don't think it should have negative connotations. Things can have gimmicks. Gimmicks are good. Defining features can be good. And I don't think the word gimmick should be a super negative one.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
In this case, the quote unquote gimmick of the game is that halfway through you restart, basically. Not restart, but your army goes away. The general level goes back down to around what it was at the beginning of the game. You get almost a whole new cast.
Except for the one that may as well have been a new for you.
Yeah, except yeah, I did a funny. So yeah, and basically, yeah, you get a new cast, and they're all the kids, largely speaking, of the original cast. But if there's like it's not predetermined who's going to like fall in love with who or have kids with who.
Yeah, it's up to you, the player, to get your character's motion.
Yeah, which was very much for me the case in the first half. The second half, I did not have a lot of say in what happened.
No, not quite.
I don't know if we're gonna talk about that. We might talk about it. We might not talk about it. But I did not have a lot of say in that. I did not particularly enjoy that. But yeah. Basically, so substitutes are units that pop up if any of the women don't have kids.
Or are dead.
Specifically. Or are dead. Yeah. Well, that still implies that they don't have kids.
I guess, but you can remain unmarried. It's much more difficult. It's much more difficult to remain unmarried than dead, but it can happen. I did it. I looked through. So to compare against your end ranking and end time, I went back to my file. This is the save that I added the game.
Oh boy.
And clear it just to check my time and ranking, but also check because it tells you at the end how much how many wins, losses, whatever the units got. And I didn't end with just a Sigurd solo. I ended Gen 1 with Sigurd, Lewin, and Lachesis. Shout out Lachesis, my goat.
Okay.
And I think maybe also Sylvia, the dancer, which is crazy considering Sylvia and Lewin have a really high love growth. But actually what I might have done is pair Lewin and Aaron and then killed Aaron.
Oh, okay. That's criminal.
She needed to die.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's so
not my problem.
Aaron is the best character in Gen 1. Strongest, most powerful, coolest, best character. Not really. Just in my playthrough.
I mean, she's pretty cool. She's pretty sick.
I love her. She is the best character. And her daughter, Fee, who does the same thing as her. They are both Pegasus Knights, and they are awesome, and I made them stupidly strong, and so stats, whenever a character levels up, they have like a percentage on each stat, like basically roll a dice for each stat, and they've got different chances of increasing their stats. And my Aaron just had defense and res, so that's physical and magic defense to an absurd degree, right? And I played into it. I gave her all the kills. I gave her a lot of things. Not as much as I gave her daughter, but I gave her a lot of stuff. And she got really, really, really powerful, and then basically unkillable by anything that wasn't like an archer. She was basically immune to all siege machinery, which would normally crit and kill flyers pretty easily. But archers in this game crit flying units. So that was like the only thing she could remotely have to worry about. And then her daughter was dumber, actually. Not quite as much on the defense, but well, actually, no, I think she ended up doing quite well on defense. But for most of the playthrough, not quite as much on defense as her mom, but a lot more res. Meaning she was all around basically unstoppable, and I had her fight so many things. Another thing about this game, people generally consider archers, especially non-horse archers, but archers not great.
It's true.
And I loved the archers in this, like so much.
Midir, your favorite guy.
Yeah, Midir's great. Horse archers were great, but also the stationary archer is the worst holy weapon in the game. So there's a bunch of different holy weapons, and the bow is like the worst one.
Yep.
Yep. But I got some numbers on it. I think it was
58 kills or something by the end.
It was probably the highest performing holy weapon other than the. Well, no, it may have actually been higher than
Mistleton might have outdone it.
I don't Mistleton. I was gonna say Frissetti, the wind book.
It could be, but I don't think you use Frissetti as much as you did just use Ares generally.
Okay, yeah, Ares Gen 2 unit, very funny, kind of just an edgelord.
Yeah.
Very funny guy.
Complete
classic Fire Emblem guy.
Very classic guy.
Very funny guy, Ares.
Well, his dad is arguably even like more classic Fire Emblem guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a whole genre, a whole archetype of Fire Emblem guy like Eldigan.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Oh, and what is Fire Emblem 4 about?
It's about a holy war, except you don't like to call it a war, at least in Gen 2.
It's more of a bit, yeah.
I know that was a bit, but yeah, I'm taking your bit and treating it as if you were saying it sincerely.
Okay.
It's
all right.
Yeah. I'm misrepresenting your words.
That's fair. It is only fair that you do that to me.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, you got this guy, Sigurd, and he's going around, finds himself in situations, politically speaking.
He sure does.
Generally, most of which pretty fucking stupid, actually. Very avoidable by if they were using magic in this world to communicate better, like, if the magical telephone existed. There are a lot of mages, but if the magical telephone existed, none of this would have been an issue, actually. That's my big theory. If they had the sending spell. And they can teleport people around, but apparently they can't, like, teleport letters around, or messengers. So, I don't know.
Well, I don't think that would have ever helped Sigurd. I'll tell you that.
Well, it would have been clear that his dad wasn't, like, evil a lot quicker.
Well, it's not...
Which sort of fix things.
No, because everybody knew that Reptor and Langebolt were the ones that killed Byron.
Remember,
it was a whole conspiracy.
Initially. Not everyone. There was some debate. For at the beginning that gave them time to get ready, and also, like, Sigurd just didn't know that his dad did anything for a while. So if he just found out, he would have figured out what's going on a lot faster. And I think the situation would have been very different. Anyway, his dad was framed for some bad shit.
That's true.
And he's going around doing war.
We are currently about halfway through the game at this point.
Yeah.
Halfway through Gen 1, that is. Just ignore anything that happens in the first couple chapters. That's clearly not important.
Anyway, he basically then... his home is attacked. He pushes them out. He starts occupying a bunch of foreign lands.
His home is not attacked, to be clear.
His home... Or someone declares war on his home, I think?
No, it's Verdane. It's the Prince Gandalf of Verdane goes after Youngby to go kidnap Edain, and so Sigurd moves out on Gandalf in Edain's place, and then goes out to the rest of Verdane, and then into Agostria, because reasons. That's how he starts his accidental conquest.
Yeah, then basically he goes around conquering like half of the lands. Even in completely unrelated territories, we mentioned the air books and the Pegasus Knights. They're from a place that I can't remember the name of. Celeste. I mean, eventually he ends up there, and then Celeste is in a civil war, so Sigurd's army deals with it. Also, to be clear, Sigurd's army is like 16 guys, which is not nearly as funny as Gen 2, which is 16 children, largely speaking. But yeah, so that's sort of what's going on.
To be clear, Sigurd does not end up in Celeste by chance. He goes there when he's in exile after he and his dad are framed. But yeah, it's close enough. Close enough to what happens.
No, but I'm just saying it's incredibly funny that he gets, it's just incredibly funny that he just ends up in someone else's land and then fighting the civil war for them.
Yeah, because he's hired.
Thing.
He's literally is hired by whatever Lewin's mom's name is.
Yeah.
What's her name? She has a name.
Lewin, very important character. Generally considered the husband of Aaron. In the canon, seems to support it quite heavily. And in my route and stuff, it's interesting. Probably wouldn't have been the case if Kaga had invented homosexuality yet, but alas, no homosexuality. Yeah, so they're awesome. Aaron's awesome. Lewin's the world's most pathetic man, especially when we get into Gen 2, where he's actually just a bum, has left his wife to die. We should probably talk about the transition first. So, Sigurd and his forces are welcome home, and then their meteors are rained upon them. It's kind of funny. It's a World's End Club, you've been struck by meteor moment. It's really good. And then the next chapter you start as Sigurd, Lewin's bum kid.
You might want to run that one back.
Did I say Lewin?
You said Sigurd, Lewin's bum kid.
Sigurd, Felith, Sigurd's bum kid. Yeah, and they're fighting a war of they're doing a revolution, but it's a bunch of children, and it's kind of funny. And Lewin's there, but he's the world's most bum. He's just a bum. He's just a bum. He's there. He's given up for Seti. He doesn't want the throne. Oh yeah, he's the crown prince, for the record, who should have inherited the throne a while ago, to protect the lands and stuff, which he could have done. He also could have stopped what happened. Except it's revealed that he did kind of die, and some shit's going on with him. But basically, he's the world's most pathetic man. Leaves his wife. She dies of disease. He never goes and visits her grave or anything. He avoids his kids when his kids show up at the war camp, and end up being, like, at least in my playthrough, the top contributors of the war, and still avoid them for most of the game. And then he's just kind of pathetic and awful to them. And then the end happens, and his son's his daughter doesn't want to talk to him for good reason. And his son's like, "Oh, you're so great, Dad. I want to be just like you." And it's heinous. I hate it, actually.
It's like, what did Sid mean by this?
Yeah. But basically, sort of the themes the game explores, because themes are important.
The people love theme statements.
Yeah. The themes the game explores are like, following in your parents' footsteps, resistance, being against child ritual sacrifice.
It's a pretty important one.
Yeah. And the inherent evil of guys named oh, what was his name?
Which one? Who's the inherently evil one?
Oh, well, he's been possessed.
Julius?
Yeah, the inherent evil of guys named Julius.
It's true.
So that's what the game's about. There's also themes of good versus evil,
Classic.
which I don't think are explored very well in this, because, but that's fine. I don't think it was trying to do that very hard. Mostly it's about following or not following in your parents' footsteps, or like doing their thing but more, or doing their thing but less, or like understanding why you're doing your parents' thing. You see, I think it should have explored this more, but it doesn't, other than a few characters. But most importantly, it does kind of explore this with Seliph and Sigurd.
Yeah. Most importantly, it low-key can't explore it that much because it can't determine who's, like, for the rest of the cast, because it can't concretely know, for each of, like, the kids can't know who the father is.
Except for the fact that it does for Ced and Lewin anyway, because they wanted to make it a big deal, and then they do the plot bad for them. Like
they do it pretty good until the end.
Yeah, it was exploring it okay until the end.
And even then,
and then
I think they allude to stuff at the end that said realized that Lewin was dead the whole time.
I still don't think that's good
It's
enough.
still not, but it's a little bit.
Still think that's bad. Anyway, the two characters that they explore this the most for are Julius and Seliph. Julius actually isn't in much of the game. He's barely in it at all. He's just kind of an awful person. But his dad was like pretty manipulated and into being the one who did the meteor by the evil forces, and then they possessed his son, and basically he's just like a exaggeration of his father. On the flip side, we've got like of all the evil stuff of his father, and then on the flip side you got Sigurd, and Seliph, and Sigurd's got this strong sense of identity, this quest going on. He's kind of a dumbass, but like he's trying to help the world by occupying all of it. Good work, bud.
Yeah.
And then his kid needs to go avenge his dad and continue his mission. Except, it's never. It always seems like he doesn't actually understand it at all. He doesn't have the same gusto behind it. He's just kind of doing it because he doesn't know what else to do. He's just kind of a kid hanging out with his friends, doing war. Now, he's not the most just a kid hanging out with his friends and that thing happens to do war. Like, he's the one suggesting they do war, right? But, like, he's just kind of doing it because he doesn't really know what else to do with his life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's just, like, told this is what he should do. So he doesn't have the same gusto. He's really bad when he meets people. It's like, hi, I guess, who the hell are you? And it's really funny.
Yeah,
he's not graceful at dialogue until like the end of the game, where he's kind of graceful in everyone's goodbyes. He's, yeah.
Yeah, it's because like Sigurd, this legend, especially at the time of Seliph's time, it's a legendary, literally, mythic figure, right? He has, he's a very strong mechanic, like just as a unit, right? He's busted as soon as the game starts up until the game ends.
Except for me, because I didn't use him very much.
Yeah, but like that's on you.
Yeah. I had an Aaron.
Eventually. And before that,
I had a Medeer.
And
Alec. Well, Alec fell off. Fell off very fast.
Your first blow.
I had a Medeer. I had a horse archer. Horse archer's good.
Yeah, so this mythic figure is strong. He has a strong sense of what's right and what he needs to do. He has this whirlwind fairy tale romance with Deirdre, and is the subject of this grand tragedy that's only been exaggerated by Seliph, and Selif's like, all right, and Selif's been told by Dane, everybody at Chernobyl, right? This is who your dad was. What a sick fucking dude. What terrible things happened to him, and this is what you're gonna be like. It's what you're gonna do. And he's like, okay, I'll go out and fight, because he fights because it is right to, but not with the same type of conviction that I think Sigurd would have had, or not even necessarily for the worst though. I think, because I think, Self develops more of an understanding in ways that Sigurd couldn't, or at least didn't, because he got owned, as one might say.
Yeah. So. Oh, it's a good game. Its story was fine. I don't think it's like incredibly deep, because it being the nature of the type of game it is, it can only explore those themes so much. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not a lot of dialogue in the game, and what it is mostly between enemies. As the exposition. Or just like overall like narrator dialogue.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot, of dialogue.
A very large scale myth sort of thing game, right?
Yeah.
Its main inspirations, alongside, Gundam and Legend of the Galactic Heroes, as Kaga will never stop talking about, are like Norse myth, right? I think that really comes across, and just like the way this game is about blood feuds between families. Seliph and Ishtar have no personal reason to fight, but they do because their parents hated each other, their parents' parents hated each other, and they will continue to hate and fight until all of House Frege is dead by the end of the game.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, and it's because Ishtar is a coward, because Tinny is awesome. Remember Tinny?
Tinny's awesome. Tinny's not good, but Tinny's awesome.
Yeah. If you haven't played the game, I'm sure you'll love these proper nouns. But it's like basically, right, because Ishtar is sort of presented as like, not in this game, but will later be characterized in bullshit material, like everyone's favorite mobile gacha game, Fire Emblem Heroes, is more of a tragic figure who simply couldn't do anything. But in this game, and especially also in Croatia, this game's mid-cool, but it's not mid, it simply takes place in the middle of the story. It's actually great, right? She was simply too little too late. She's just a coward, especially explored in Thracia through like her aide Reinhardt. Classic guy, Reinhardt. Yeah, Ishtar sucks. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Me when I oppose the child hunts at the very end of my life because I just want to kill myself.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, it's great. Well, let's talk about someone who's like really just awesome.
Lester?
Oh, we can talk about Lester.
I don't know who you're going to talk about.
We'll get to the other person I was going to talk about. But yeah, we'll talk about Lester. Lester's ultimate guy.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Capital G guy, except for the actual dude in Fire Emblem. It's the 7th one called Guy. But ignore him.
Yeah, he's just like he's the most real of all the characters in 2nd gen, right? That being said, he's like not a character.
It's true.
He's
many people are saying this.
He's just a guy who is doing war to spend time with his friends. Like, I mentioned it earlier, like, Sigurd's doing that, but, like, this is the real guy who's really, really, really doing that.
Yeah.
He's doing war, and in most people's playthroughs, he's sort of an afterthought, he's meh. In my playthrough, I believe it was the single weapon with the most kills was was his weapon, right?
Uh,
Him and
his
Medeir's
killer
weapon?
bow. It was either the
Killer
killer
bow?
bow or the brave sword. I don't remember which.
No, it was the killer bow because the brave sword. Fee had by far the most kills of an individual unit, but it was spread between 3 weapons.
Well, the brave sword still had like 80 kills on it.
It still had 80. What the killer bow had almost 90, I believe.
It could be.
So the basically the two we got a horse archer, like someone who's basically strictly a horse archer, in both first and second gen. Basically, you get the same sort of cast, same sort of cast mechanically speaking each time. Generally speaking, we got a dragon riding unit, Gen 2, who's awesome. Yeah, no, Medeir and Lester, really, really, really great units. In my hands.
Yeah.
Most people are good. Most people are good at just taking their sword units and running in, and I just find that boring. I got really good at using a bunch of what people would generally consider bad or mid units. Which brings us to the best, like Fee's the best, but the best unit. Fee's the best,
Patty.
but the best unit, Patty. Okay, thieves are a class that is mostly for stealing money and giving it to other units.
It's true.
I made the Gen 1 thief is unworkable. Truly just awful.
That's so rude to do. That child soldier can put in so much work if you believe hard enough.
Oh, and I did. He held sieges, all defensive things. He was a little kid running around in a castle, preventing anyone else from fully capturing it. He held drawbridges. He opened drawbridges. He stole money, but he was not a killer. Patty was lethal.
Yeah.
Patty, I was one of the first units I got to max level, which is so funny, in Gen 2.
Well,
she
obviously.
She was, these are bad at murder, but Patty was not bad at murder. I gave her everything.
She became good at murder. She started off bad at murder.
She started off bad at murder, but certainly better than Do. Thanks to her parents.
Yeah, but she still didn't get a pursuit until she,
Yeah, still didn't have pursuit until she promoted. But that's fine. She then got really good at murder. Patty's awesome. She's just this girl who steals shit from the enemy and gives it to poor people or the army. She's really great. Her parents are like notable pirate.
Yeah.
And her dad's some chump.
You don't gotta call Lex some chump.
No. Her dad is Lex, one of my favorite units in Gen 1.
Lex did some good work for you in Gen 1 with that brave axe.
He was one of my favorite units.
Would you like to talk about how you got Patty all those levels? Do you remember the strategy?
Yeah, Sleep Sword.
Arena
right?
Vantage, yes.
Yeah, so she could put people to sleep. And then there's a fun quirk in the arena that allows you to sorta, put people to sleep and then switch to better weapons, after you put them to sleep. So eventually she would put people to sleep and then, we'd switch her weapon to something more lethal. And yeah, it's great. There's no way this was intended.
Well, I think that it's somewhat intended, but not, I think, the exact way of exploitation, especially with Advantage, allowing you to just keep running it even easier, so that you always have a chance of hitting, right?
Yeah.
Because you go first when you're at, below half HP. Yeah, shout out Patty. And her, even if she kind of didn't do much in endgame, because she was out doing else things.
Yeah, well, she contributed in the final thing. The final chapter. She didn't contribute much in the chapter before that.
She nearly got killed in the chapter before that.
Yeah.
I had to do some work to save her.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was probably the single most frustrating moment in all the playthrough. Where the game just decided that I was going to,
get owned.
Get owned, yeah.
Yes.
Basically, reinforcements showed up from the opposite side of the map, and where Patty was off helping some villages, right?
This is for context if you have played the game. Chapter 9, and the chunk of villages in the top left corner.
Yeah. And she went out and was collecting them, and everything was cool and good. And then basically guys showed up and attacked her in the same turn. Couldn't react. She was the most had the most raw HP of any character I had, due to semantics, with her parentage and whatnot. But alas, she was not able to deal with it super effectively. I basically needed to RNG manipulate until she successfully put everyone to sleep. Now, she did put, until she surrounded herself with sleeping units so she couldn't be attacked. Now, she was pretty close to doing that naturally, but it needed some more work.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
All good. Take your time. Lovely.
Yeah, sorry about that. My GI system goes backwards sometimes.
But you got yourself out of that situation.
Yeah, I got myself out of it.
And of course, most importantly, is that you could have simply gotten yourself out of that situation at the very start by not saving your turn, and you were in a bad spot.
Yes. Okay. So here's the thing that I think doesn't lend myself well to this game. I don't want to just not put myself in the bad situation as my solution to the bad situation. I'd rather find some Rube Goldberg-esque bullshit way of getting out. Because that's the strategy. So did those moments, not in the Patty instance, but some of the moments where I was doing that were the best moment, where I got myself into a situation and I had to figure out how to get myself out. Some of those were even if I was had to do minor RNG manipulations, or in some cases not so minor RNG manipulations. That was genuinely some of the most fun I had with the game.
Of course. I mean, we're gonna have to talk about the image for this episode at some point.
Well, yeah, we will talk about the image for this episode at some point. I don't think we're quite ready for that one. Yeah. I think the biggest issue I have for this game, very, very simply, is, I think this game has a problem. And that problem is moving units around long distances.
It does take a bit of time, doesn't it?
Is very tedious, especially if you want to use any units who are on foot. And guess who's on foot? Our second protagonist, Self, until he promotes.
Yeah.
There's one item in the game that increases someone's speed, their move speed on land, which is really cool.
Or in air. You can give it to a flyer.
Yeah, you can give it to a flyer. I did have it on a flyer for a little while. I had it on Aaron. But basically, that went to in the first game. It was on Lewin, who was awesome. But basically, he didn't even need it to be awesome.
You did not give it to Lewin. You kept it on Aaron, and then you gave it to Bridget, and then you kept it on Bridget.
Really, he didn't have it at all. I thought he had it for a little while. Okay.
He had Pursuit.
The Pursuit band, yeah, that's true. And then yeah, I gave it to Bridget, who is Patty's mom, who was the legendary archer with the foot archer with the legendary bow that I made more use of than anyone Jaden's ever seen. By giving her, and then later on her son, the leg ring. They just run around, basically be a second horse archer who couldn't move after shooting, but the bow gave them regen, which helped negate the fact that they couldn't move after shooting. And her son was the second beefiest unit in the game, despite, again, just being an archer. And her son eventually got demoted and had to give her the leg ring to Patty, his sister, because I made her awesome, and it was very fun. Another issue I had with this game, the end of the game, no matter how hard you try, the game, at the end of the game, with holy weapons, will outscale basically anyone without a holy weapon in the final chapter, and there's not a ton you can do about it. They just can't really contribute all that much to, like, the final fight. Now, I'm used to RPGs like Neverwinter Nights 2 and stuff, I'm sure. I know BG3 does this, and all that sort of thing, where in the final fight, it's generally, like, just a looking back, and, like, everyone get in there. Everyone gets to take a swing at the enemy. I really tried to do this, and I ended up losing a lot of units that way. In a way, I think it's sort of interesting. But this game does not lend itself to that. This game lends itself up to go collect the legendary book, give it to the one person, and then have that one person nuke the final boss. And I refused to really do that. She did help, but, like, I refused to let her do all the work. This game really doesn't lend itself to that, and I really enjoy that. Now, it sort of has a bunch of ads before it that you have to fight, but the issue was the run to get the book, and then the run to, like, mind control the person who uses the book, and that whole segment just takes a while. So I was waiting with my guys who had dealt with these what are they called? The Dead Lords for a while. A while before I got any ability to actually engage the final guy. So it was really, 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 like, I was not a fan of that. The end was cool, but I was not a fan of that. Speaking of the Dead Lords, I sort of did a really awesome Altena suicide charge, and with one unit took out most of them. And she didn't need to die, but I decided that I actually liked her death there. I think it was interesting. She basically died fighting all of these uber scary units, who I called chumps, and they were chumps, because Altena dealt with pretty much all of them by herself.
She was not alone.
Her and her AI unit brother, which means and a couple of other just, like, schmucks on dragons, who basically I couldn't control, so they didn't, like, do, like, a ton. Her brother had a holy weapon of his own, so that definitely helped. But she was the primary doer of things there. Basically abusing enemy AI around cliffs and stuff. But mostly it was just, like, her skirmishing on a cliff. That none of them could fly. But they could shoot, and archers would kill her because flying units would get crit. So it was very fun. That was really cool. I really like that. And I do genuinely think it's okay that she died there. It's
always okay to let people die in this game. That's, like, the point.
Speaking of which, Finn!
So Finn is a very special guy because he's in He's one of the one character that survives and is playable in both Gen 1 and Gen 2 because he gets the fuck out of there before the end of Gen 1 happens.
Yeah.
And, except, Owen did an
I got
oopsie.
him killed very early. But again, another way, it wasn't necessary, but it was my way out of the solution of a bad situation. I sacrificed him, a situation that I put myself in, and I could have just not put myself. I could have just unput myself in that situation. But again, I thought it was much more interesting to like try just get myself out of it, and get out of it. I did, and he died. So he was basically my main casualty in Gen 1. So, yeah. Which means when he came back in Gen 2, he was useless.
Not promoted. He was not even like level 15. He was like level 6 or 7.
Yeah, he was
level Didn't even have the Brave
7.
Lance. Owen got Finn killed before you get the Brave Lance, which is like Finn's whole thing, is that he gets a pretty good weapon that nobody else can actually use in Gen 1. Aaron can use it, but like Aaron can also like use the Brave Sword, so who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
And generally speaking, Aaron isn't like amazing.
No, she's pretty good.
Was. She is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so. Generally up there for Gen 1, but also Gen 1 is so. Everybody in Gen 1 is so eclipsed by Sigurd, it kind of doesn't matter, right?
Except one.
Who?
Lewin is disgusting.
Well, Lewin, you have to like wait for him to get Versetti, wait for him to get movement. Sigurd is already him by that point.
Yeah, but he is strong. I would say Lewin with movement is stronger than Sigurd.
In terms of damage, yeah, but I mean
damage and survivability.
I mean, by the time you get Versetti, it's that you're 60% of the way through Chapter 4.
Yeah. Anyway, Lewin's kid who has Versetti is vile if he is the kid of Lewin and Aaron.
Yeah.
And useless otherwise.
So useless, you're better off getting the substitute if you don't make his father Lewin, or maybe Claude if you really, really want that staff rank. And the Valkyrie staff. But
yeah.
Other than that, go get Hawk. Hawk's pretty cool. He's a cool dude. Shout out Hawk. One of the handful of subs you can, like, just kind of make work normally without, hey, Dimna, how's it going, man? Dimna being Lester's replacement.
Yeah.
He did not see much action in my playthrough. Or probably anybody's playthroughs.
Well, Lester doesn't see much action in most people's playthroughs either. I would have I would have found a way to make him work.
Dimna?
Yeah. I would have tried.
I don't know if you would have.
Is he that bad?
He is pretty bad.
Does he have, like, none abilities? Like, the killer bow, alone gives you a bunch of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, killer bow's pretty solid, but he has pursuit, and that's it. B rank bows, 9 strength, 30% strength growth, 9 speed, 20% speed.
Oh, that's bad. Okay. Yeah, those are bad growth.
Yeah. And also he needs to get the killer bow somehow, because if he didn't inherit them, he can't. It's gonna be elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then he has to buy them, and he only has a couple money. He's probably not the worst sub, but he is down there.
Mm-hmm. And there's no way he's the worst unit.
No, because the worst unit is probably like Corporal.
Yeah, Corporal exists.
That's a little harsh, but
Corporal's really
it is
bad.
funny being Corporal and Lean, who are just worse than their substitute units.
Corporal's really funny. Corporal's this like child you get at the they're all children. A lot of them are children, but like he's a child.
Coded.
You get at the end of the game, who's level 1 and can only use staves, but he
And
doesn't
also,
like
for
actually
you-
heal that much.
And for you, his dad was Alec, so that really helped him out with inheritance and staff rank and getting good stabs and money. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
F4, shout out F4. With what you were saying earlier, about like, sort of how by end game for big fights, it really wants you to use, certain units. I like that. I don't know. I see why you dislike, but I also think it's just how Kaga is doing the storytelling. Like, he wants these big, dramatic scenes, right, of Seliph taking down Arvis, or a sibling, tragedy of Julia and Julius.
Maybe, but
I think
there's another unit that can also do it, and that unit is Sed. Sed can do anything Seliph can do.
He could definitely not do it as well, especially not Julius. He did not, in fact, do it against Julius.
Okay, not against Julius, but against most
Arvis,
people.
Eventually.
Basically against every other instance.
Mm-hmm.
Sed could do it better. Because for Sed he is disgusting.
It is a little heinous.
So it really just felt like it wanted to be the Sed, Seliph, and Ares show. And also, like, Altena had a holy weapon, but it just wasn't nearly as good.
It was pretty good.
Well, it isn't defensive at all. It's purely offensive.
Yeah, that's all she needs. She had, like, it literally gives her plus 10 defense. She had 36 active defense.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay. But it doesn't cover any of... But it doesn't, like... The only thing that was going to touch her anyway was like, archery, and that ignores it. Like... because of the crits. So basically, she just felt like I used her a ton because I love flying units. But in terms of like just raw combat, she just felt like quite underwhelmed. She was like, I felt more confident whenever well, what's his name?
What is his name?
Who's the archer?
Faval?
Legend. Yeah. Faval, like, I felt more confident when Faval got into a fight. Like, Faval would kill anything. Where she, like, couldn't one-shot, like, she couldn't one-shot basic units and stuff. Faval,
yeah, she could.
like, always would.
She did that all the time.
Near the end of the, like, later in the game, she wasn't, like, she was having to use 2 swings. Before she promoted, she wasn't killing things. I was using her constantly, but she did have issues.
A bit, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like a... But basically, those, like, and Ares and Shannon, like, fell off too, as like two more holy weapon users.
Ares did not fall off.
Ares couldn't fight against the other holy weapon users in the same way that that Seliph and Sed could.
Well, that's because Seliph has Nihil.
Seliph and Sed
avoid.
Yeah, Seliph and Sed were basically, what I'm saying is that Seliph and Sed just got so much better than everyone else by the end of the game that it was vile. And the game obviously wanted Seliph to be good, but like Sed was better. I feel like he didn't have a horse, but like that was the only thing holding him back. He didn't have Nihil, but he didn't need Nihil. Like, his avoid was so stupidly high that he just was.
Except for that time he died to Julius, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, but Seliph would have done that too.
No, because he wouldn't have gotten crit. It's just Seliph.
Oh, okay. Sure, but Seliph couldn't fight Julius either. Neither, no. Basically, the only one who could like stay in a fight with him is Julia. Or Julia, was that the right character?
Yeah, Julia and Seliph are the only two that can like actually really kill him.
Yeah.
Unless you do the funny strat with Berserk.
Yeah.
Where you use Berserk on the Dead Lord with Hell, and you manipulate the AI in such a way that the rest of the Dead Lords go idle. The Hell dude goes in, gets Julius to 1 HP, and then you get in there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, of course, you did not get Charlo for Berserk. You got Corporal. I do think it's also important to consider the other reasons why it's necessary for Self to be strong, because theoretically he could be the only guy you got, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying I disagree with Seliph being strong. It's just that he and Fed, if it was just him, that'd be one thing. But Fed was sitting next to him or above him the whole time, right? And Fed was some guy with Versetti, right?
Not exactly some guy, but yeah.
He doesn't have like, well, he's some guy playing revolutionary. Like, he comes into the game having fought a war, like, fighting a war on the opposite side of the continent from his home, when his home also needs it. He's just some guy off playing revolutionary, who has an awesome dad, who's Lewin, who's the world's most pathetic man, right? And, that's it. Like, he's just some guy, some kid playing revolutionary, with this incredibly strong weapon, to the point where he's just like the most powerful mage in the game, with the exception of Julius. Like, he cooked Arvis, who should be like vile, like should be one of the strongest units in the game. Fed cooked Arvis.
Cooked is a strong word. It took him like 4 turns. And he only had a 50% hit. He only cooked him once you moved Seliph back in when he got Tearfing to give him the plus like 20-30 hit.
Oh, but
it took a bit to get there.
Arvis wasn't doing anything back. Against Fed. Like, Arvis couldn't touch Fed. Like, they're just so, I don't know. Fed, I love Fed. Fed's great, but he's just some guy who just happens to be so absurdly strong. Like, Lewin, it feels really good for him to be what he is, because he's like this runaway prince who's actually awesome and stuff. But his kid is just better, and it's kind of funny. But for me, it breaks the suspension of disbelief a little bit about the strength of these units. Because, like, the game doesn't treat him, like, narratively like some mythic god, like Seliph. Like, Seliph is clearly, like, the guy, by the end of the game.
Yeah.
And Fed isn't treated in this way, but
Not in this game.
Not in this game. I know he is in Thracia, but narratively speaking, he should be. He's him. He's so egregiously strong, you know, that he deserves that, like, in-game respect and doesn't really get it.
Yeah.
Which just goes to make it hurt all the more when the other units that feel really good, mainly his sister, Fee, who's really cooking. She doesn't have any holy weapon. She's just based. When she doesn't compete because she doesn't have, like, a free plus 20 to her, like, res or whatever, like, Ares gets, for example.
Yeah.
Or you know, a bajillion damage. Now, she was still killing things because she basically crit 75% of the time by the end of the game. But against the bosses with, she contributed against Arvis too, I believe. It was just Julius at the end that, like, really felt like he put her in her place. But in a way where she like feels like our most championed seasoned fighter here, right? She got the most kills by the end of the game. It felt like she should be able to contribute, right? Mm-hmm. If her brother can, then she should be able to as well. You know, sort of thing. And because I did the awesome fight with the Deadlords, most of the Deadlords with oh god, I'm so bad at names. I should just have a character. Altena, the dragon knight. Well, no, Ares, Aaron, Fed, and Lester, and Patty were all fought the like 1/3 of the Deadlords. Those five of like my five top units, were, other than Selith, were fought like 1/3 of the Deadlords, and then Altena fought the rest of them, including all the most dangerous of them. Like they fought the chumps, and Altena fought. It just left my most storied unit without like a whole lot to do, which was fine. I think it like the narrative stuff, but also combined with the marriage situation, it just led to a really unsatisfying like she married who I wanted her to, I guess, like under the pretext of heterosexuality, but her narrative ending, like she didn't like her both narrative and and mechanical ending just were just a little bit of a letdown, you know.
That's fair. I can see that.
In a way that like a game like an ending like Neverwinter Nights 2's ending in particular, it's just got a really interesting way of doing it, in that you got your, it's a completely different genre of game, of course, but you've got your party members, but it brings in everyone, and then depending on who you interact with, whose decisions you they liked more, your relationship with the characters and stuff, right? Some of them will be tempted to join the enemy, but like they'll all be there, you know, and they'll all feel present in that final fight, even if you haven't leveled up, say, I don't know, fucking Grobnar, since you got him, it'll still feel the game still makes him feel present, you know. And this is not only that to like an extent where you didn't feel everyone's presence, but you didn't even feel like your units, like the units you spent the most time with, presence at the end, you know. So I think, but this is also a consequence of a fun quirk of the game, of the scale being the scale of battlefields and countries.
Yeah.
And just single guys. Now, if they were all in a room for like a ritual room, and Arvis was trying to sacrifice some kids, and they moved into the scale of a room, and stuff, then yeah, it's easy to have like ads and that you have your units and stuff, but it's not. What I really thought they were going to do, when Arvis dies, a big scary dragon appears. Or Julius dies. When Arvis dies, nothing happens. When Julius dies, big scary dragon, his kid dies, a big scary dragon appears, right? And then it fades out of existence. I thought we were going to have a fun and last fight, last like beat 'em up fight, big HP pool that everyone can just get in there for, right? Because I think that would have been more narratively satisfying to me, even if it wasn't like a hard fight. You could just a fight where just everyone could get in there, you know. One last like a big unit that you don't need to crowd, or like that occupied maybe several tiles, so that you could have more units close to it to attack it, and like everyone could like, have a Frissetti there, have your archers do some shooting, have Ares run up with Mistleton, have Shannon do, I can't remember what his holy weapon name is, Balmung, like have Dermot hit him with the shield sword. Just, give everyone a chance to like get a swing in there before the end. That would have felt really satisfying to me. I think.
Interesting.
That may not be like a Fire Emblem, like a thing that's in the Fire Emblem, like the Fire Emblem culture.
No.
But sort of a big enemy after like you like the real last fight would be Julius here, but then you just have a big beat 'em up guy that everyone can get in there for at the end. If you want Julius to have this big epic showdown with Seleth, right, and Julia, right? That'd be really cool. What are your thoughts on that? Does that sound like some?
I think that sounds really silly, and kind of dumb, and also because okay, narratively, what exactly are we doing here, right? And mechanically, how would it function, right? Because I don't know. It's like narratively, what's like the function there, right? You've taken down Julius. You've excised, the devil from him.
Yeah, and then the devil basically.
And then the devil manifests physically, and then you slap him.
And then you just banish it by like beating it up.
But you already banished it when you took it out of Julius and killed him with Naga.
Well, but what if taking it out of him just like then taking it out of him that severed the connection and now it's vulnerable and you can actually beat it up and properly banish it sort of thing.
But it doesn't have a body. Lopter gave up. Lopter hasn't had a body for hundreds of years. It's like the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I just feel like.
And then like mechanically, like, I don't think that would work for this kind of game because like, how would you? You'd have to ensure that it could be dealt by everybody, but also only by Cell if he was alive, and also within the confines of the way the combat works in a strategy game like this.
Well, basically, you do that by having a sizable HP pool and very little damage.
But why would you not just keep attacking with, like, Seliph, Julia, Zed?
Well, because it's big. Because it would be big enough that you could. So why wouldn't you? You know?
Because, fucking Derma and Arthur are all the way over there, and no point moving them all over here and wasting turns. When they're gonna do way less damage because they're just not as strong.
Well, but here's the thing. I had a bunch of units at the castle, right? That all could have swung on him, right? I had assembled everyone at the final location. They could have just. They could have just, participated. Basically, as many or as few people as you want to participate, sort of thing. Just so that your guy can get.
But that's what the whole rest of the map is for. You already did that with the whole rest of the chapter. Right?
But I like it at the end.
Fee had her grand moment. It was pretty close to the end with Ishtar's squad. That was like all Fee. That was all. She was like the only one that could deal with all this sleep staff onslaught there.
Yeah, but it was
all that.
It was still like 30 minutes later, or like for at least. No, it was probably an hour later that the 30 to 60 minutes later, right? That the Julius fight happened, because getting the damn book took so fucking long. It was just tedious and annoying. Mm-hmm. And my other guys did so good that by the time we got the book, they had long since cleared everything else out. So they were just kind of sitting there doing nothing. Basically. I don't know. I just think it'd be sort of cool to have a fun beat 'em up at the end. Give your guys a chance. Give whoever, like, big dramatic moment, and then give your guy a chance to shine, and a chance to remember all the units that you chose to bring with. And if you were just playing super optimally and you just got your four super strong guys, then yeah, they'll more than suffice. I don't know. That's sort of my idea behind it. I don't know. It just felt like the weight of characters was weird at the end. Is all.
I guess.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
That's part of the issue of having 16 guys occupy the size of an army. Is that
26
they can only
to be clear. You have 26 guys per generation.
Yeah. But you're never actually going to be using all of them.
No, not really. You're never going to be using Arthur.
Yeah.
Or Hannibal.
Yeah.
Corporal.
Or Corporal.
Holster. Fucking Lana. Yeah, Lana actually you could be warping about.
Yeah, Lana was my teleport battery. Holster got used at the beginning of the game, but not past that. Well, the beginning of Gen 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good. I thought the cast was good.
Yeah. The F4 is pretty sick, isn't it? Yeah, but Gen 2, people say the game falls off in Gen 2, which is only kind of true, I think. I'm not going to say it's not true to an extent, but I don't think it's as bad as people say.
I had my issues with a couple of the chapters, but I thought Gen 2 overall, I think its the game's strongest chapter in my eyes was the Celeste chapter in Gen 1.
Interesting, really.
Yeah, I think that was when the game was at its strongest. Partially, I don't know, my character got to put in a ton of work, and it was my character's home. I really liked Fee and Aaron, so this was Aaron's biggest moment was basically that whole chapter, and I really enjoyed it. And while it was kind of weird just fighting someone else's war, it felt good. That was it was just when everyone was starting to level off their strength, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And
it's
I think
just
that's
when people are promoting and getting up there.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I like that chapter a lot.
Even the part where you have to spend 6 turns dragging your army from all the way at the top right through the mountains, all the way down to the bottom left, so that you can go do the second half with Andre, and all that, and go see.
Yeah, but didn't Do have a big moment there where you let down a drawbridge as part of that?
Kind of, but you spent 3 turns waiting for Do to get up there.
Yeah. But almost every chapter has some horseshit like that where you're just waiting on units moving, right?
Yeah, but chapter 4 is a little egregious with it, I think.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
But chapter 4 is great because it has great music, and it's just
also the music is awesome.
Great, has a great look to it, very distinct.
And also, shit is clearly happening in the world, Sigurd has his first oh shit moment, I'm no longer welcome home, and I've been occupying all these territories, I don't know, I think it just kind of hits hard. So, I like that a lot. And I like most of Gen 2. Yeah.
I must have been there. Yeah. Continue.
And the chapter that Bridget is introduced.
Chapter 3, with Eldigan and stuff.
Yeah, is that chapter 3? Yeah, I guess it would be. Where we get the last of our units for in Gen 1. Mm-hmm. I think that's really good too. As far as my Gen 1 things, and then I don't know. A lot of Gen 2 I think was really good.
Yeah. I'd have to be absurdly basic and say that yes, Chapter 5 is maybe the best chapter in the game. Sure, crossing the desert sucks, but it has a feel to it, narratively, that is just unmatched. So I don't care. Then I think Endgame is pretty cool. I think Chapter 10 is really good. I'm also a sicko that enjoys Chapter 2. You want to talk about Chapter 2, Owen?
Yeah, I think it's time we talked about Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, Disturbance in Augustria.
Yeah.
So, if you know the game, which you might not, you might recognize that what you've been looking at this whole time is a little map of Chapter 2. Some fuck shit on it.
Yeah. Super Cuck Chair.
The Super Cuck Chair. With good old Chagall's, and I think I drew it with the intent of Chagall being the one in the Super Cuck Chair and not Eldigan locked away there. I can't remember.
No, that was Eldigan. It's definitely Eldigan.
Because he's imprisoned. Yes. I don't have the image actually pulled up with me. I need to find it so that I can look upon it.
And I've got it open in Photoshop because the thumbnail's not done yet.
Well, it will be one day.
But it will be, and you're looking at it finished, but I'm not looking at it finished.
Mm-hmm.
It'll probably be done today. I'm kind of like very into this because it's different than all the other thumbnails. Quick talk about the making of thumbnails in this. We for this podcast.
Yeah,
I do all the thumbnails. Yeah, we do the thumbnails. No, I do all the thumbnails. Jane and I talk a little bit about what it's going to be, and usually it's just like I send a couple of images of like options over, or just like we just collectively decide. Yeah, there's obviously one. This game is a problem. This game was very much a problem. Nothing would have worked.
Yeah. It's been problematic.
In the same way that a lot of the other games would have worked. There's everything either would have the issue of I'm not doing characters. I won't do characters unless that character is a giant eyeball or a god or a face on the moon.
Right.
I'm not going to say anything more on that. But there's probably some of that coming up.
There's
but
so
I'm not
coming up.
Yeah, so much of that coming up actually. Several of that coming up. But I will not. I'm not doing characters. I love doing characters in vaguely the same style, but I wanted to do something more. I wanted to do something different than just more of that. And I really liked it what I arrived at for the Elden Ring one, and I decided to continue. I also designed the logo, which...
It's a great logo.
It is.
The people love it.
The people love our logo. But yeah, so it's a top-down game. The map is kind of boring and unrecognizable. The background screen that Jane suggested just would not have worked in this style. A cloth is really hard, especially a waving flag in the way that it was just would not have looked good. I'm not doing text. So what was sort of left? Well, Jane and I made this battle plan for a really fucked Chapter 2 situation.
Yes. Because right after
would you like to explain the yeah go ahead.
Yeah, so let's look at our game plan here. So in Chapter 2, the way I'll give an overview for the people unfamiliar, which is everybody. We start in the bottom right and make our way up to bottom middle, which is it's a little green there, and then up the left side. And at that moment, enemies start pouring out of sort of that middle right castle down to bottom middle, and you have to make your way back and then up through there up to the super cup chair. All right. There's a lot of moving parts in this chapter. I think it's really fun when you know what you're doing on a first playthrough. It can be a little annoying, especially if you don't know.
Well, and on the way to the super cup chair is this massive wall of artillery and
that's what the
all sorts of. I think there's a cavalry charge.
There's a cavalry charge.
All sorts of bad.
Ballista. There is So Owen had some guys at that big red circle there, where sort of those forces would be intersecting. And things were looking bad while they also had a bunch of their guys at top left, because that's sort of where they were. They had a couple already heading down, but not much. They had a lot of split forces. It was a bad time. It was a bad situation, as you can tell. Written there. Bad time in red fine print.
And so I don't think I had... did I have my Aaron at that point?
You needed to get Aaron recruited, because she is sent flying down. That's when Aaron is sent as an enemy.
And then right.
You had either just gotten her, or she was on your way to be recruited. Because I believe you need to get her recruited, because that's what L2 is about. That's Lewin on his way to getting worked down from top left to bottom right. Right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, you're so right.
From Anthony back to Evans.
So basically, I didn't have what would be the unit I would use most. Madir was who's the horse archer who I would use extensively. Wasn't amazing at this point in time. This was probably the weakest he was compared to the opposition. Lewin is ridiculous the instant you get him, but Lewin, we just got him, and he spawned into a horrible situation and then frantically needed to get down to recruit Aaron, who would go on to be the GOAT.
Yes.
Basically, Sigurd was not very strong at the moment.
And also not there.
Not there. Finn had died
already.
Rip
Finn.
Finn had died. I said he'd be back any day with the milk. I was right.
Yeah.
It'd just be a while. But yeah, it was, probably my one shining light was Lex.
Yes,
because
you also had to keep Laxus safe, which was actually really a big trouble.
Yeah, Laxus wasn't very good at the time, who would go on to be a really good unit. Basically, Alex had fallen off.
Yes, and this is the point where Alec was like, alright, he's no longer your blur, but get him the Riz motion right there in the center, right?
Yeah, he really, I guess I had Beowulf.
Beowulf would have been somewhere. Beowulf is on his way.
Yeah,
now.
Beowulf. I think Beowulf was one of the people heading towards home from the top left.
Yes, I think that's what the blue B is there for. I think that's Beowulf right there.
Yeah. So Beowulf and Lex were kind of my two good units at the time.
That were closer.
That were close. Is it Arvis?
No. Try again.
No, okay. Who's the fire boy?
Is Azel?
Azel. Yeah, Azel.
Azel was at the source of conflict.
Yes, Azel was.
Most of your foot units were left behind at the source of conflict in bad spots.
Well, yeah, but the only two of them that were actually good were Azel and.
Azel was not good. You should probably remember that properly. It was Ira.
Well, okay, Azel's not good, but he could kind of hold his own a little bit. Compared to everyone else, it was just him and Ira were the only two usable foot units.
And there. Holland, kind of. Holland was around.
Oh, Holland, maybe. Yeah, I guess. Well, and then actually, the person I forgot about, who was probably actually the shining star of all this, Jamka,
Was
was
Jamka there?
there.
No, wasn't Jamka with
I think.
wasn't Jamka sort of with the top left squad? I think you sent him up there. I think he had
Oh,
to
if
get
I
down
did,
here.
if I did, then Jesus Christ.
I believe you sent him up there to deal with them.
Oh,
and he had to get his way down.
Oh no! I just remember Jamka was really useful in this chapter.
He
may have been really useful away.
He was useful away. I do believe.
Oh God! So yeah, I had a character named Ira who was good there.
Yeah.
That was basically it. We had one, and she has a sword and walks on 2 feet.
Yeah.
She had like a 30% chance to like just kill whatever she encountered, just like no questions asked, just uber dead. And that was my only unit of any quality in the problem area, the place where I was about to get attacked.
Yeah. So breaking down these plans as actual plans. So we have that blue mass of all the enemy units. We have yellow. Those yellow bits are all the ballista that spawn, and that's labeled scary. They're charging into red. So red is our foot units. Bad time. Their plan was to retreat west, send Laxus and Azel into that bit of forest there for extra defense because they didn't have the movement to escape. Send Ira down into the castle, back into Nordian to hold it in a defensive position.
Try hold it by yourself.
Yes, we need to sort of moving even just straight left. We have Arden there, the green line going up there into the western castle, which is Herheim, because Arden was getting the power of pursuit from the bottom left peninsula. Still useless, but it was something.
Context about Arden. Arden's very funny. We got Arden, I believe, at the start of chapter 1 rather than 0, right?
Nope, you get him at... Nope, he's one of the first units along with Sigurd, Alec, and Noish.
He's one of the first units, and I immediately say, nope, not using him, put him in the castle, because
Because that's what the game tells you to do. He is a joke.
He is so bad. He's a guy in big armor who isn't actually very tanky.
He's a little tanky.
He's a little tanky against physical forces, can't stand up at all to magical forces. He can't move, basically.
Yeah.
But the game, and he can't attack twice.
Not at the start.
But would you like to explain that situation? Yes. What he was up to?
4 is a game of little tricks and secrets, and pranks even. And one of these pranks is that if you get Arden all the way to that little peninsula at the bottom left, he gains an equipment item that gives him the pursuit skill. It doesn't give him the pursuit skill specifically, it gives anybody with the item the pursuit skill. So of course you want to just sell it, and that's what he was on his way to do.
But he has some funny dialogue where I wish I could attack twice like the others.
Like the others. Then I'd be loved. You know, Arden, that's okay. You're loved anyways. I love you, Arden. Arden's my guy.
Anyway, the only person to actually give it to is Lewin.
Lewin, yes. And that's who Lewin was good to. So Lewin is in that green blob in the center of the forest, who need to make his way up to the top left so that he could be warped, or I think more accurately returned back to home castle to recruit Aaron. So at home castle we have Du and Noish basically defending it against Aaron's charge of units while holding up for Lewin.
Yeah, so some context on those two. Du is the thief, he's the bad thief, but he is the one that I use to defend forts and hold bridges and do all sorts of funny stuff because his evasion was very high. So he was the one actually defending this. Our other friend, who is so bad that I've already forgotten his name, even though it was just said a minute ago. Yes, Noish is just bad.
Yep, he's pretty bad.
Noish is really bad. I particularly didn't like him.
Alec at least has a cool turban.
Alec has a cool turban. He's my Blorbo. He's a little better. But Noish is just bad. Yeah. And what I did with Noish is just, at this point, he was already just sitting in the castle. Sometimes, like, casters with staves can use return and stuff for XP. So I'd have him sometimes running out of the castle to wherever the healers are to get warped back for XPs for the healers, and that was all he ever did by this point of the game. He barely did anything in his first chapter, which is the chapter where he's supposed to be in the first, like chapter 0, where he's actually supposed to be useful. So yeah.
Yeah, and so Alec was like with Arden basically moving into Riz Motion A, which was for with Sylvia, who's also spawns with Lewin. They were getting Riz Motion because that's who was being paired. And now the one part that I cannot quite tell is what is going on with the yellow line up to the top left castle. I think that might have been for Ethlyn, who had the return staff.
Yes, that was for Ethlyn.
Yes, okay. Yeah, over to get to Lewin. And so that's the battle plans. You might ask yourself, did these battle plans work? Well, Owen, do you want to tell us what happened?
We'll never know. We will never know. We started doing it, and then I accidentally loaded a save.
Yep. Putting us back well before we were in this trouble. It was still a bit of trouble when it actually happened, but not nearly as much. So we'll never know if these tactics would have panned out. The answer is, we probably would have gotten away with, like, I don't know, fucking someone, like a jobber dying, but it would have been fine, is my bet.
Yeah.
And this is still maybe the highlight of the playthrough. This is the spirit of Fire Emblem to me. If you ever find yourself in a bad situation, try whipping out a stupid, like, plan like this, like you're on, like, your fucking sports commentator. Figure it out. Lock in. Get it twisted. Etc., etc. Have some fun. Grab a co-host. Enjoy yourself.
Start a podcast.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. Unless you're making your podcast about Game of the Decade, the 100-line Last Defense Academy.
Speaking of which, is it time for the 100-line segment that we're going to have in every episode from now on?
You're goddamn right it is. Owen, would you like to talk about the 100-line Last Defense Academy for a little bit?
Yes, I would. Although, I will say, some of my thoughts I'd like to save for maybe the next episode, maybe the episode after that. Whichever is the game we finish today.
That will be in 2 episodes.
That'll be 2 episodes? Okay.
Yes.
Because the next 2 episodes
we're
are
very
complicated.
Behind on recording. And
we've been doing
this bad.
Recording.
We initially started this as we'd each do, like, just focus one game. It's gone horribly off schedule. FE4, it was a menace of time. We started it April 1st. We finished it August 1st or 2nd.
God, we started it on my birthday? Christ.
Yeah, because I finished up what we need to do Sunless that night, and you were like, want to keep going?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, I guess. Right. I had to get prepared. Because one thing, before we start talking about 100 Line, let's talk about a fun thing I did for this game. Was I didn't want to tell Owen about stuff like, the big Gen 2 twist, right? About getting you into a place about love mechanics. I wanted them to have the authentic FE4 blind adjacent experience. I'm there as a consultant for advice. But I didn't want them to go and just raw dogging it, because that isn't the authentic experience. So I got the manual, the original manual released with the game. I was just translating bits of them for him. I gave them the, gameplay advice and tips from that. And I gave them all the character bios that I translated for them. I gave them, the artwork from there, which is there's some gems in there. If you've never seen Trevant's art in there, take a gander. Man, we went this whole podcast without talking about Trevant. That's all right.
We did.
Trevant would have been great when we were talking about, like, the themes of, like, inherited will and your parents and all that. Well, sucks to be him. Sucks to be Aryan.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. And so that was sort of all the context they had, was everything in the manual. Anyways, 100 Line now. What would you like to talk about with 100 Line? Do you have any particular thoughts you'd like to share?
Not really. I was figuring. I did have some specific thoughts, but I think they'd be good for the episode the episode of the game we finished today.
Okay. I've got.
So I was wondering if you would like to lead us on today's.
This 100 Line segment. This is more of, I guess, a fun fact than a full thought. Well, firstly, right now, maybe still by the time this is uploaded, the 100-line Last Defense Academy is kind of on sale right now. It's not the base game is not on sale, but if you buy the deluxe edition, it will be on sale for like $63 instead of $70. So you should do that. But my thing was, at least on Steam, more people have rolled credits on 100 line than they have cleared a single case of like any of the 3 Danganronpa games. It's currently at 65.7% for getting credits in 100 line, and I think clearing case 1 of DR1 is like 63% or something.
That's like percentages. Do we have like actual numbers?
No, because Danganronpa has definitely sold more than 100 line. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth thinking about it in terms of people that have played like the games respectively, right? That's a fun little fact about 100 line. You know what else is a fun little fact about 100 line?
No, I don't. You could be about to say so many things.
I could. Did you know that Takumi gives like all the fish in like the cafeteria names if you like inspect them?
What?
Yeah, because there's like a little like aquarium bit in like the cafeteria, and if you like inspect it, he like names them all, and like checks up on them every day. When you have to like go to the cafeteria every day to like at the start. Well, of all the Kodaka routes, you have to go there at the start. Any other route, not really. Yeah, Takumi's a silly little guy like that. It's awesome.
That's awesome. So what have you've been doing a thing? What have you been doing?
I have been
Tell us.
replaying 100 line in the original Japanese. Didn't I tell you on the last episode? Did I not talk about this?
I don't know. You might have.
Well, keep talking about it. I've been replaying it on the new Fuck You mode and in Japanese, both voices and just the language, the text of the game. I've been really enjoying it. The Fuck You mode is actually really cool and fun. I am at about day 80-something. After the most recent fight being, of course, the God Emperor fight. If you know, you know.
Okay.
The fight two before that, with Zenta, Paragon of Harmony, is actually really interesting on the difficulty mode because you start with only Takumi and Nozomi, and you have to kill the boss. There's a bunch of enemies also spawn, and you don't really have a good way of defense or offense. So there's like I could see in my mind the perfect one-turn clear because it's very easy. If you get Impact Stab up to max level, then give Takumi Attack Potion and Spring Trap, you have enough to just kill the boss immediately. But I did not have that. So I'm like, fuck, dude, the one turn is out of my reach. So I settled for like a fucked up 2-turn where at least one of them died. I can't remember which one. Because Zental will keep spawning enemies and then they just get to act again. And also walls, because like I had like a line of barriers set up, but flying enemies get owned, get fucked. Yeah, Extreme and Despair, it's actually really fun. Even though they made Shoma even worse. Your defensive unit, not good on the mode where you're supposed to be defensive. Because he's a bum. Yep. Do I talk about any other fun 100-line things?
Do we?
I'm in the process of acquiring merchandise for fan merch for 100 line of my Blorbos. As in, it's been shipped. You know, just some little like keychains, and I think also they come with stickers. I'm not entirely sure, but little keychains of my Blorbos. You know my Blorbos.
Yeah.
You know my Blorbos. You know the Yuri Blorbos. The top
two
of my goats. So I'm like, I saw them. I'm like, because I saw a bunch of other ones that I'm like, I want to buy these, but they'll all ship only by the time I won't be here. But these ones were, and I'm like, all right, you got me. I'm sold.
I do have something to talk about.
Go ahead. Show the press.
I think I don't think it's going to be. It's like it's a big thing. But we recently did have a live stream that I didn't watch much of. But we had a live stream with Kodaka and Takumi's Japanese voice actor.
And Uchikoshi, yes.
And Uchikoshi, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That happened.
Although Uchikoshi was kind of nonplussed the whole time to be there.
Nah, he was pretty chill. He was pretty funny, actually. He was making jokes.
It was funny, but also like his resting expression was just like was just not nearly as involved as the other two. It was kind of funny. Anyway, so Tukio is divorced.
That's true. They were divorced for about 100 minutes.
Yeah, and then they're back together. But Kodaka really wants to make Thousand Line, so
he really does.
You know.
Akihiro Togawa, who was he wrote Coming of Age and Ending 72 specifically, Goodbye Kiss on Slasher, and it was also maybe more importantly sort of a coordinator. He was the combat director. He was basically the liaison between Tukio and Media Vision. That was a big thing that he was one of his big roles. There was an interview with him today with this really interesting channel who's been doing a bunch of interviews with like the English voice cast, a bunch of them so far. They've all been really good, and the English voice director. But somehow, just through almost sheer chance of just being mutual followers on Twitter, you got an interview with Togawa. And we're talking about, he's like, yeah, God, we have too many ideas that we want to do with the original game. And now we're like, can we do them? Maybe. And I'm like, please, yes. We will make 100 Line forever.
It's gonna be so good. So even, we're never gonna run out of 100 Line to talk about.
No, I don't think it's possible.
And by the time there's more 100 Line, we can actually fully talk about 100 Line.
Of course.
Because everyone, you viewers, you know who you are.
You will play the 100 Line Last Dance. You know you want to. It's calling to you. You sick freaks. It's a game for freaks.
Unfortunately, two of you are currently caught up on Zero Time Dilemma, which is really funny.
It's a great game.
Love to hear how that's going in the comments below.
Of course.
Maybe two of you. I don't know. Definitely one of you is playing ZTD right now. You will not be done by the time this episode goes out, because this episode's probably going out in a couple days, and you started today.
ZTD is a short game, Owen.
Yes, but the person who plays it does not play these games fast, because the person in question is not good at is not like quick on the puzzles.
What is he, stupid?
I mean, no.
Are you sure?
Of our three viewers, all three of them have at least attempted a Zero Escape game, and none of them are fast at it.
Right.
Like, all three of them, objectively, not quick at these games. For whether that be because they only play them very intermittently, or because Jack took 50 minutes on the tutorial puzzle of 999, and then gave up before actually getting an ending.
Yep. That happened.
He was so close to getting an ending, right?
He was very. I believe, if I remember correctly, he was very close to getting knife or sub.
Yeah, and he got all the intel on. Well, he got a lot of Seven and Lotus info.
So I think sub, right? I think he was in the torture room.
Yeah. And then didn't continue.
That's all right though. Because there's always 100 Line forever.
And then there's also No Sleep for Kaname Date, which I've not played yet.
No Sleep. You have not played. You should probably get on that. It's about 12 hours long. I did it. I got 100% in about that amount of time. If you just want to do the main game, you can get through it in less than that.
The issue is you're so available that whenever I'm available, whenever I'm available, you tend to also be available.
It's true.
So I don't really do much.
You could literally
or
just
that I'm doing
do
stuff with
on
my
your own.
brother, or I'm doing stuff with like other people. Yeah.
You could just do
And-
stuff on your own. You could develop some independence. I won't mind.
But also, I enjoy this.
Yeah, that's
stuff.
true. And to be fair,
we're playing cool things.
I'm about to become so unavailable. This whole podcast is about to be in jeopardy.
Yeah. We need to. We're gonna have to figure that out. Cause yeah, it's gonna be so funny. But I'm officially getting to choose my SI hours, for the class that I'm being the student instructor for, and I want to try choose something that works for you, and at least one of my blocks that works for you in Japan.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Well, you're gonna
the issue
dox
is
me
you
like
don't
that?
have your schedule yet. That you're going to Japan.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it was gonna come up.
Yeah.
Sorry
I
if you didn't want it to. You can edit this out.
No, I'm not gonna edit shit.
I know you're not. But yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time.
But yeah, I wanna get a time segment for you. We definitely won't be recording episodes of the podcast in that time because I will be in a room in the library, my own room, pretty sizable room actually, with windows. That'll be nice.
Ooh, Windows. Everyone's favorite operating system.
Vaguely public space. That this will not be recorded there, but we can play the game. Probably play the games in question there, as long as I can move them between my laptop and the PC. If I am the one playing.
Yeah, which
the
could be
game.
difficult. #TBH.
Yeah, it depends what it is.
With the next game for you that's coming up, maybe the game after that I've picked out recently, could be if you wanted to play the version that would kill you.
Oh.
Because it does just have a native PC release, a PC remaster that came out in like 2018.
Oh,
Or you could
that's
play,
it?
yeah, or you could play the original, or you could try and emulate the original release.
That probably makes more sense for what it is.
What, the original?
Yeah, the original.
How so? Do you want the
No?
control scheme that kills you? I would love for you to play with the control scheme that kills you. It doesn't kill me because it's a great control scheme, but
Yeah, I think its native release makes an emulation of its native release probably makes more sense. Even if I don't like it.
okay.
I mean, if you disagree,
It would be much easier for you to just play it if the remaster is all I'm gonna say.
okay, maybe we'll do the remaster.
I don't know how it controls with keyboard and mouse. It was not meant for keyboard and mouse, but they found a way. The Game Club seemed to have no qualms with it, really. Many people prefer it with keyboard and mouse because, and you know it's like a shooter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking in.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
100-line thesis statement. There is no every ending is a bad first ending and every ending is a bad last ending. I meant to bring that up last time, so I'll bring it up now.
Maybe.
I think this is true from the
I
bottom
think
of my heart.
our ending that we got last is potentially the best last ending.
I don't know about that.
Because it's a one-off. There are very few one-offs in the game. One-off endings.
Mm-hmm. I think it is up there in terms of last endings, depending on who you are and how fond you are of the character in question.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
already on their side, so I was already
same.
pro. I was already like, this is only doing wonders for me. This isn't like radically reshaping the way I think about them. This is just explicit confirmation of what we already knew, right?
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, there's like, the only good way to play the game is to just play through your choices, and just see what happens. That's the truest way, the only way. Don't look up a guide on what ending to get for at least first. I think if you don't want to commit yourself to 100 endings, there's a good last ending if you don't want to commit yourself to all 100. It's very simple. Do ending 1 last. You can do like, get one on your own, and then get ending 1 if that's all you're in for. If you want like
the issue
the
is then you don't get ending 2. And I feel like you might as well get ending 2 if you get ending 1, but you definitely can't get ending 2 and then 1 if it's gonna be your final though.
Yeah, you can.
You can't. Do you think that works well?
I don't know if I'd say it works well, but it works well enough. As long as you end with 1, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do more. You could throw an 87 in there because that's a pretty good one. You could throw in, 50, a 3 and 2 and 1, right? Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you're getting, like around maybe sub 20 endings,
Always do 87.
Yeah, it's like required reading, pretty much.
Yeah. 87 is sick.
It is so good. Give Kyohei Oyama an AO3 account. I think he would love the world of fanfiction.
So, last time, Jaden.
Okay.
And by last time, I mean last full episode.
Yes.
We gave each other some music suggestions. Have we listened to them? Yes. We did.
We did.
Have we done another set since then? Yes, also that. Well, I listened to another set past that. You haven't gotten to it.
I'm a bum. I'm a fraud. I'm on Fraud Watch.
I was yesterday. The music one is not on scale of days. It's on a scale of week, generally speaking.
Except for sometimes when it isn't.
Except for sometimes when we'll do like several back-to-back days or whatever.
I meant Clockwork Lullaby, which took like a month.
Oh yeah, Clockwork Lullaby and I don't even know what I recommended alongside Clockwork Lullaby.
Imaginal Disc.
Yeah, Imaginal Disc. Okay, yeah. Shit was going on though, and it was inconvenient to listen to.
Yeah.
So it was.
You had TB Resuscitation by Hard Floor, and I had Reading, Writing, and Arithmetic by The Sundays.
Yeah. So who should go first?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know how much I particularly have to say.
Yeah, that's fine. Most of what I've got to say is anecdotal, funny stuff about the situation I was in while listening to it.
That's right, you were in a situation.
Yeah.
Other than Sundays, it sure does have the sound of a 1990 English alt-rock band. Open's pretty good, Skin and Bones pretty good. Then, like, the next two, what are they called? Something and something. They're not bad by any means. I think they're just not as strong as the first one. Something about it, I'm like, okay, I get it. It's fine. It's not. Didn't strike my fancy. More or less. Then it just got better. Then I was like, okay, we're back. It won me back. I can't remember song names or which ones in particular I fucked with, but yeah, pretty good. Pretty solid tunes.
It's funny. My favorite track on it by a good bit is the third track, which Shaden does not particularly like. So
yeah, that one.
If you listen along at home, I like Can't Be Sure. I think it's a good track. With a lot to say. Which kind of, in a somewhat similar-ish way to the thing that I listened to yesterday. There's a track on that was my favorite that I think is similar in terms of its function in reality. But that's not what I listened to off of yesterday. I listened to TB Resuscitation, which is so I have like it's okay. Heartfloor is a German group. It's
That's true.
Yeah.
Is it a group or is it just a guy?
I think there's multiple of them. It may be just one guy.
It's a duo.
It's a duo. Yeah, so they do electronic. I'm not. This is a genre I'm sort of out of my league in a little bit.
So am I. I don't really listen to it, but I do like this album.
This is like this is like club techno. And I think it's pretty good. I think I've got an issue with dance music. In that, my big thing, and Jaden and I talked about this maybe while we were in middle school or something. I remember us having this conversation. My theory was
I wouldn't agree with any of my opinions I said then. I'm just gonna be.
No. I'm not saying. I'm not.
I don't know what conversation you're about to bring up because I don't remember this at all. But go ahead. Talk.
Art is art because it makes the audience feel things.
Okay.
and there was a lot more to it than this, but this is what I remember. But your response was, or feel emotion, right? And then you brought up dance music,
okay.
Club music.
What was
it? In that it didn't bring in a specific emotion just listening to it, but it helps cultivate an energy rather than pull in a specific emotion,
I don't remember this, and you might be hallucinating. I don't think I would have articulated that opinion in the 7th grade.
It may have been in high school. It was definitely in middle school or high school that we talked about this and talked about the nature of dance music.
But why? I don't listen
art.
to dance music like at all.
I don't know, but you definitely did this. This is like a core memory I have about our relationship.
Why?
I don't know. Anyway, so I don't listen to much dance music, as you can probably tell. If I'm listening to music that has the intent of getting people moving, it's probably swing. Right? But yeah, dance music is really dependent on the setting you're in. It can carry incredible energy, and I listened to it in one of the settings of all time.
You did?
And that setting was on breaks in jury duty.
Damn right.
So, it was just this really, dysmorphic, weird thing. And when I finished this album, especially when we were waiting between the final pieces of evidence as the jury that we were presented to us and our ability to go deliberate, we were put in a room for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I had finished the album at that point. And then I just started listening to Burn Baby Burn from the Disco Elysium soundtrack on loop while attempting to meditate. Hell of a time. But I was in that courthouse for over 11 and a half hours that day. But yeah, so dance music, really, or any sort of anything like this, especially German techno, really setting dependent. I think my favorite track was probably Tipi Stronica. and I liked Into the Nature too. Those were definitely the two that stood out to me the most. Track 3 and 4. Um, so yeah, those were those were my tracks. I mean, it was decent. I will probably never listen to this again.
Yeah.
I think dance music works really well in a club and stuff, but also I have trouble with a lot of the music that's like energy and feel good, or like any music that would play at any sort of party, like the feel good music.
Uh-huh.
I just don't resonate very well with most feel good music or music that is just bring energy. I just don't resonate well with it. But you know, that's kind of a skill issue. Um, so you know, yeah, that's kind of all I had to say about this.
Yeah.
Listening to it while in court was weird, but also I don't know. I'm never in a situation where the generally right setting for this is.
I mean,
so,
neither am
you
I.
know,
But yeah.
and I think I'm particularly affected by its need to be in a place because I don't feel a whole. It doesn't make me feel a whole lot of anything, emotion wise. Whereas that's like I tend to experience the world through music and the emotions and stuff. And this didn't give that at all. But I could see it being nice in its correct situation, but I also don't know if I would enjoy that situation.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Have you considered that the tunes are simply good?
They are. They would be. Oh, I thought of a situation where they would be sick.
Uh-huh.
Like they'd be sick a lot of it, like in video games and stuff where or film and stuff where there's other stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's just they don't carry enough weight emotionally by themselves. They can enhance. I think they're great enhancers, but they don't carry enough emotional weight for me to just sit there and do nothing but listen to music, and feel much from this music or frankly anything like it. You know?
Sure. I guess.
Even the thing closest to it that I do listen to regularly would be the Disco Elysium soundtrack has the music from like the dance music in it. But I also have the emotions of the game tied to it.
Yeah,
very specifically.
All that.
Even if I'm listening to it, like I'm very like it's my favorite game. I'm so fucking in tune with it that it makes me feel like that, and the whole basically quest of developing and cultivating that music, is like baked into my experience of that music. So, you know, maybe I'll form some sort of emotional bond with some other German dancey club music at some point.
There's a lot out there.
There is a lot out there, and I think it's pretty cool. I also think that trance may not of all my of
all your what, buddy?
I think trance may just not be my thing of the techno house, the techno ravey scene. So, and they seem pretty. I don't know it very well, but they seem pretty. Yeah. So, I do also have things to say about the album that you sent me yesterday. I don't know if we should do that or not.
Go ahead. Talk about it.
Yeah, so what was her name?
Skinty Fia by Fontaine's DC.
Yeah.
For the record,
So,
Owen sent me Moan and Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, to which I said, Owen, I already listened to Art Blakey. I've listened to the album several times. Get owned. Nerd, try again.
and then very, very scared,
Scared of what?
scared that I get, well, just not necessarily scared in any way that I'd be scared, but like expecting maybe the same thing again. I went out and put, oh God, was it Disney Gillespie or
No,
was
it was Thelonious Monk.
Okay, Thelonious Monk, yeah. Monk's Dream, I assume, is what I sent you. That's
Probably,
the only thing that I would have sent you. Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah, Monk's Dream, Thelonious Monk. So, yeah. So that's a pretty classic one. But yeah, Fontaine's DC Scintiffia is... I like conceptually knew of Fontaine's DC. They're a Dublin band, post punk sort of situation. I knew of them. I had no reason to particularly go out and listen to any other stuff until they were recommended to me as part of this, and it's sick.
Damn. Right.
It is so sick. Particularly, in my opinion, the best track by far on Scintiffia is "I Love You," which isn't at all what a song titled "I Love You" you may think it's about. It's an ode to the current state of Ireland, and Irish politics and whatnot. And it's really good. The Couple Cross the Way, Scintiffia, and I Love You, tracks 7, 8, and 9, I think, are the best. Jackie Down the Line's pretty good. I think that's maybe the biggest single on there, probably, would be my guess.
By views at what from what I'm looking at least on YouTube Music, I Love You is most.
Cool. We're back. Yeah, should I clap too?
No.
Okay.
You need to do it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yes, so Scintiffia, yeah, so I Love You is the most listened to?
Yes, on YouTube Music.
Okay. Then my guess was that Jackie Down the Line was probably like the release single.
Probably.
The lead single that they released, but then, I Love You is just like so, important in what it's saying that, yeah. That I guess it gained a lot of traction, which is good. That's what I would have liked to hear as the top thing. It peaked in the UK, Scotland, Ireland. It got second in the Netherlands, third in Belgium, and the US Heart Secret album Billboard. So, yeah, it did pretty well performing album, I guess. And it is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just good.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured I was really like, you probably have listened to this. This was my thought going into this. I don't know exactly why. It just had you energy to it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't know if you're even like that big into like, post-punk gothic scene. Even though I don't know, like The Cure.
That's the thing. The Cure is about as far into that as like I generally go. Punk
so, like,
is just generally not my
no
not
Joy
my
Division,
scene.
no Susie, no nothing.
Joy Division comes up on Pandora sometimes, and I'm excited when it does, but I don't. Yeah, that's about it. I've listened to Joy Division, but I don't listen to Joy Division.
So what you're saying is I should at some point just give you Unknown Pleasures, make you think about it.
I mean, sure.
One day.
I mean, it's not like I haven't. Like I said, I've listened to like Joy Division stuff, so it's not like one that I'm not familiar with. It's just not one that I listened to in a while. I mean, probably us talking about it now is gonna make me want to go ahead and give it a listen to. I mean, it's a phenomenal album.
It is.
I'll probably
one of the
listen
best.
to it tomorrow at work. It's good. It's really good.
Classic.
So I guess I'll probably listen to that tomorrow. If you're following along at home, which I don't think anyone else, but if you are, Monk Stream by Thelonious Monk, and I guess Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division. Unless I'm just gonna listen to that and then you're gonna give me another suggestion.
I could give you an actual one. I don't know off the top of the dome. I had a couple that I've been thinking about. It's just mostly picking between a couple things, because the problem, as always, is that sometimes I listen to things that just aren't on streaming. Like, that's just a true fact.
Yeah, and that is a problem for me, whereas I, ideally want to listen to it on Amazon Music while I'm beekeeping.
So, but I think what I've settled on is a band I've talked to you about. I sent you a live video of them way back when this started. I don't know if you ever watched it. It doesn't matter. Giving you, of course, the album. Hajime Midori desu by Midori. Classic Japanese jazz punk band. I will type that out for you because I don't think you caught any of that. I'm gonna be honest. But it's one of the 2 albums that they actually have on streaming because they don't have the
Japan
first 2
hates Amazon Music.
Well, specifically with Midori is that their first 2 they switched record label. I believe what it seems to be a thing is that they switched record labels halfway through their 4-album career, so their first 2 are just not on any streaming anywhere officially. Plenty of YouTube uploads of them, and I think I would say that second is their strongest work, but this one's also still pretty good, and you can listen to it efficiently. Probably it's at least also on Spotify, and if you can't get there, then fuck you.
Yeah, no, it is on.
I have a very core memory of leaving this album on at work one day, just leaving it the Spotify page open at the computer, and what I didn't realize at the time, because this is one of my first days there, was that the monitor reflects back onto the screen facing outwards towards everybody coming in to pick up shit.
Oh yeah, and this nudity on this.
The cover art may not be a topless woman. And yeah, nobody said anything, but it was just something I only realized when I left. I'm oh fuck, oh well, what are you gonna do? Alright, who really cares?
Could you give me a translation of that album name if one is translatable?
I mean, pretty much. Kind of saying it again. We are Midori. Nice to meet you. Sort of hajimashite. What you'd say first time introducing yourself. Introduction of the band Midori. Midori, of course, being the name of the band, but also the color green.
Yeah.
Classic. You're really asking for a lot, just so much from me here.
Yeah.
How dare you? Oh, and to circle back just briefly, ever so briefly to Fire Emblem, because you did ask me to talk about this when we were playing the game.
What your first experience with this game? I believe yesterday.
Yes, and then I said I don't know if I can remember any of that other than my pairings. But what I want to talk about then, and what I want to talk about now, is a specific memory about the first Fire Emblem, your first time experience with Fire Emblem. Just briefly, I don't bother talking about my whole Shadow Dragon playthrough because I don't remember a lot of it because I was literally in elementary school. But what I do remember very keenly, is Chapter 4, I believe. I feel confident saying that, but let me confirm it's Chapter 4. Chapter 3. chapter 3, fuck, whatever. My very first time with encountering a unit death, basically, not too dissimilar from with you and Finn, I found myself in a bad spot. I was, because I was stupid. And so I was looking at my guys. I'm like, okay, what can I do here to get out of this situation? Because I was especially like, okay, gotta protect Marth, right? Because he's the main character. If he dies, game over. I don't want to do this all again. What can I do here? So I'm like, all right. The most tactical thing to do here is looking at one of my Cavaliers, Kane. I'm like, Kane, Godspeed, brother. I sent him out into a last charge against a couple of bandits that were on my ass. I get that successful. He dies, but I live to see another day, and it's still. I'm like, the idea of resetting for a better option simply didn't even occur to me as a thing that people did in these games. Because there's not the save. You're saving your turn saving at the start of every turn, right? Like in FE4. It's just you save the start of chapter. And okay, actually in Shadow Giant, you do get mid-chapter saves that are on the map you use as an action. At specific points in the map, send you this just so you can see it. It's those blue circles there. I don't remember if I ever used them or if I used them in the intended way, as sort of checkpoints. But yeah, I don't know. I'll never forget Kane's tragic sacrifice for me. I remember talking to my friend about that on a field trip, being like, "Dude, this game's fucking sick." Yeah, that's kind of all I had to say about that.
Nice.
Just good times.
Yeah.
Because I believe in the power of permadeath. The series has strayed so far from it. I don't want to be a hater of the modern games, because I'm not. Well, I am, but not for the reasons you think. Not you, Owen, but you, Nebulous. Okay. I do hate Engage, but I do also hate Three Houses. Not as much, right? Not as much. But I do think they're both not good and not what I want from Fire Emblem. But I mean, even just as soon as 4, arguably, but 3, okay, not as much Thracia, but 6, and then especially 7, 8, Permadeath started becoming much lower priority of things the series is really invested in. You get to point doing 3 houses with permadeath, no turn wheel is hell. Please don't try it. It's especially on the highest difficulty. It just isn't designed for that. You get all your units at the very start of the game, and then that's it. They're all bad. There is no Sigurd or Oifi for you. It's just slop.
But there's many.
Not really. There's 12.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out from the Three Houses for being bad. Okay, mostly it's bad for being poorly written and ugly. I think it's a pretty unpleasant game to look at, graphically. It's overambitious, but not in a fun way like 100 Line. It's just overambitious in a way that they kind of fell flat on their face.
Yeah.
I love trying to tell a morally gray story, but also every option will lead to a good outcome. And you're always right, because you are the specialist boy or girl.
Yep. That's a good way to not do that well.
Their ass would not be right in 10A. Or, I don't know, what's another ontologically evil one? 10B, kind of, to be honest.
Yeah. So, man.
We're at
2:45.
It's a long time.
So, although some of it will be edited out.
Some of it, not a lot. Some of it.
Not like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I guess we're at 2:43.
Approximately. Well, plus
approximately.
intro music, so this could be any amount of time.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to call it?
Last episode was like a what 6 minute intro,
It's 4.5.
4.5.
It's not that
Still,
crazy.
still very long musical intro. It went hard.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, it's Rumble. It's a banger. Oh my god, Owen, you gotta listen to their new song, which is for some anime opening. I don't care, but I did listen to it, and I'm like, did they just sample Toxic, your favorite song?
My favorite song.
Yeah.
Oh, because I said Monen's just toxic? Yeah.
No, because for long before that, I've associated you with Toxic.
Oh, because of marching band?
Yeah, however long ago that was, pretty much, and you would not shut up about it.
I had such a love-hate relationship with it. 'Cause yeah. Toxic and Radioactive was the
God,
marching band
I
show.
didn't remember I didn't remember that.
Radioactive was pretty cool when it came out. I'm gonna say it. It's a cool song when it came out.
You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that. You should not.
It was the only really good Imagine Dragons work. Well, they had a couple songs that were okay, that were like not the songs that people know, but like it was. It kind of went hard for when it came out.
I don't know, man. You can't be saying that.
I don't know. I'm brave. I be speaking my truth.
And your truth is Imagine Dragons good?
No, that's not what I said.
That's what it sounded like to me, buddy.
I said, toxic. Radioactive was pretty sick when it came out. It's like a good track.
Do we need to be doing
very overplayed
for
track?
Imagine Dragons?
Very overplayed track. But it was it was pretty good. Coldplay was my favorite band for a long time.
That's such a fun fact.
Because early Coldplay was a good band.
I'm sure they were. I have no opinions on Coldplay. I just think it's a funny thing to say.
Oh, I have negative opinions on Coldplay.
Yeah, you sure do.
But I will stand by that old Coldplay is decent. Oh man.
You know what sucks about being Aero Ace?
What?
There's like no interesting writing out there about like the experience from like either in like fiction or like nonfiction.
Yeah.
Not that there's not anything good, there is. I've read some good stuff, but nothing that like is either interesting in the way that like I don't think a lot of other queer art that I found is, or that like I find super personally relatable. Like I read a couple weeks ago is Love the Answer, which is a pretty good manga. It's like one volume. It's pretty cute. It's fun. I really liked it. But you know, it is not. You know, it's not my experience, and that's fine. Not everything will be. My experience is okay, sure, and then I kept going on with my life, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like maybe one day I'll find something interesting because like also it's also like you look up like aromantic literature, aromantic writing, and then you just also SEO is fucked, so it's just thinks you're looking for like like romantic period writing. And I'm like, no, I'm not. William Blake, fuck off. No, actually William Blake's pretty chill actually. You ever heard of Dark Souls? William Blake is the Dark Souls of literature. You ever heard of that one before?
I've not heard that one before. That's funny.
Have you not watched Professor Booty Bakker's video on Dark Souls?
I may have. I just forgot.
In the game notes, I literally started typing William Blake instead of Dark Souls. Because it's like a lot of the stuff that writing that I have found is mostly coming at it from like an allo ace perspective, which is, no disrespect, decidedly uninteresting to me. Because I, at least for me, do not particularly care about the ace aspect. Like that's it's a true fact about myself, but like it's not interesting or even like something I consider that important compared to the aromanticism, which is, I think, far more relevant to my day to day. You know.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. I'm sure you have thoughts about this, as I think you have at some points identified as somewhere demi adjacent, which is broadly all umbrella. You know, somewhere in there. I don't know what the status of you is. You could be anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider myself demi, but like being demi is such a well, maybe under the same umbrella is just not, really
the same. Yeah.
It's a very, very different beast, and most queer media ends up relating to my experience because it's just convenient for the writing.
Yeah, it is more convenient to, well, unless you want to read, you should read some Burroughs.
Okay.
Because I've been reading William Burroughs recently. For some reason, well, I know what the reason is. The reason is because I found about William Burroughs because my high school physics teacher is also named William Burroughs. And I'm like, hey, that's kind of funny. And then now I've actually started reading him. I read Junkie Queer, and I'm reading Naked Lunch. To be clear, some of the most homophobic books I've read, but also unabashedly gay because he was a gay man writing about himself ostensibly.
So, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's rare that you get a piece of media that has someone falling in love with, or like getting a crush. Okay, there's a lot of like romance movies where it's like have crush on someone you see in the coffee shop or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's, generally uninteresting to me.
Yeah.
But also that generally comes with a certain type of sort of trashy-ish romance movie / novel trope. And I'm just not interested in that wholesale. I mean, it can be fun to watch bad trashy romance movies sometimes, like with people. But like that's,
it's like kind of not exactly what you're in the shop for, generally.
Yeah. But most queer things. Now, the interesting, I guess maybe the interesting direction I can take this is I really like media where someone falls in love with the idea of someone else. Oh man, what's it called? It's a sort of a... Ooh, let me see if I can figure this out.
You got this. I believe in you. You'll remember the names just this once. Just this once.
No, I just remember the name of someone who's in it.
Okay, well, you can go from there. Who's in it? Name a person.
Yeah. Troy Iwata is in it. Dash and Lily. Dash and Lily is sort of a Christmassy thing that my sister and mom like watching every Christmas, and I enjoy it too. And it's these two characters, Dash and Lily. It's quite heterosexual, but it's not like
no.
It's fine. But the idea here is that they're communicating through a journal and challenging each other to do things in New York City through a book, and sort of fall in love with the idea of each other. And I think that's like Dash and Lily is the easy. I mean, it's got the fucking Jonas Brothers and shit in it. Like, this, if I remember correctly, like there's some fucking like Yeah, it does. But it's got Troy Iwata is a gay man and plays a gay man in it. But like it's it's just that sort of idea of falling in love with the idea of someone is something I find very interesting. Because that has interesting dynamics with my lived experience,
Mm-hmm.
So, but like, I don't know. I don't do a lot of reading these days.
You don't. It's a shame.
I don't.
One day we'll have our Tsukumo Jikuu segment.
Yeah, Tsukumo Jikuu, and I'm quite tempted to just start up Ward because I something excited me about Worm again, so I want to read Ward, but no, I need to read Tsukumo Jikuu. I just can't really read a whole lot, and I don't watch much in the way of TV. I mean, I watched.
I don't at all.
I don't know. I watched a lot of Taskmaster with my family, and Welcome to Wrexham with my family and grandparents. And I watched Lazarus recently.
Yeah.
That's the TV I've watched.
Yeah.
So, I don't. Oh, okay. Romance thing. Jane, you've got to hop on the Locked Tomb.
The what?
The Locked Tomb. Gay necromancers in space.
What the hell is this, man?
Hera the Ninth, or Gideon the Ninth is the first one.
Oh, yes, that.
Yeah, you need to hop on.
I don't know, man.
Where's your skepticism?
Because I'm reading other books, and I don't know if they quite got this, where I'm going.
That's maybe fair, but if you get a fucking chance,
maybe
you should.
The people that I trust.
The people love this, and they're right to do so, and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You got necrophilia in it. It's great.
I mean, that's pretty sick.
Apparently there is. It seems like there are Japanese releases of this.
Well, I'm not gonna read them in Japanese. I'm not doing that. I'm not literate.
Yeah, it's really good. The whole the 3 books that are out are awesome, and the 4th is what you should watch it because this pops up on the images.
Who the hell is that?
I have no idea who that is.
Just some bald dude saying, "Wow, that was bad." It's Gideon the Ninth.
Probably some bald straight dude.
Yeah, some bum.
Matt's fantasy book reviews. What does he think a good video? What does he think a good thing?
Probably nothing. Probably doesn't think anything.
Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin is a good book.
I think people would agree with that generally. I don't know. I don't care for fantasy really. It's like a genre.
I'm looking through this list. Yeah. But it's good. It's really good. And the second book has maybe the least reliable narrator of anything I've ever read, and it's so good.
Interesting.
It's just this mentally unstable person who keeps talking about the body, that the ever-present body, which I sort of used as a little bit of a small thing in our D&D campaign, like the insanity days. in that it was the corpse of a god, but this is but it's I don't know, it's really good. And then Nona the Ninth is the third book, and it's everything changes again. Each each of the books, the three books, is very different because they're very based in who the narrator is, and really a lot of it takes on that. And the narrator of the first book is this buff, kind of dumb woman who carries around a massive great sword and wears ritual skull face point, but only because she has to, and wears aviators.
Why not?
in space, underground on Pluto. So yeah, and it's really good. It is highly recommend, and the world building is awesome, and it's very unique.
Mm-hmm. But could you put it on the 100 lines reading list?
Probably, yeah.
How much work would you have to do? How much mentally work would you have to do?
I need to think about it a little bit. No, it's on the 100-line reading list.
How so?
Yeah, it's on the.
How so?
87 in particular.
Interesting. Interesting.
All of most of the that half of the initial split, not comedy.
Yeah.
Also a bit culty. Yeah, no, I could see it on the 100. Yeah, no, it's on the 100-line reading list. Yeah.
Interesting.
In fact, I'd say the one it is most is I'd say mystery.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's mystery.
Okay.
And then also multiple blank.
I mean, that's just Palmer Eldritch. I know you haven't read it and you probably will never read it, but that's just the Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch. I cannot begin to describe to you how much it's just that, but with more yabby.
I think it is, but I think Palmer Eldritch is also on the this reading list too. I to the point where because of this, I actually no that is on my list of things to read.
Yes. All right, we got it. We got to get you dick pilled.
Yeah. But no, it is very very much. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's phenomenal. Frankly, it's very much on the more I think about it, the more it is 100% on the 100-line reading list. You should hop on.
Maybe one day. I've got too many books to hop on. I already got finished Naked Lunch. Then I'm gonna hop on, not Disco Wednesday. Oh my god, why can't I remember the name of the book that I promised I would read? It's the Yu Sato one. Oh my god, the First Kagami Saga book. The First Kagami Saga book one. I know what it's called somewhere in my brain. Flicker Style. It came back to me. It's called Flicker Style. Mm-hmm. The problem is that the library that I am most frequently near very rarely has books that I am the most eagerly interested in reading, and I hate reading ebooks, so I either have to wait 2 weeks to pull a book from another library, or I just read it online, and I'm like, fuck. But I'm probably just gonna stick to ebooks for now on, because I don't know if I want to get anything and then try and finish it super deadline-y. to get out of here physically. I thought about grabbing
Yeah.
the sympathizer, which is, if you don't know the sympathizer, it's a Vietnamese. Well, it's like written in English for Vietnamese American, but it's about. Look, it's a pretty good book from what I hear. That sounded interesting. But I don't know if I'll actually get around to it at this point, because I must say, I'm just going on tangents, but I must say that well, firstly, I think that the distinction between literary fiction and genre fiction is stupid, but I must say, I fucking love me some genre fiction. Mostly good sci-fi as opposed to bad sci-fi and mystery fiction. Everything else, give or take. But I really do like literary fiction. I had a great time reading Sound of the Fury. I thought it was really good. I love Berlin Alexanderplatz, which I just read and I still think about. Berlin Alexanderplatz is really good. But give me some Philip K. Dick. Give me some Agatha Christie. Give me some Kurt Vonnegut. Maybe some Asimov. Well, a dashing of Asimov. Give me some Arthur C. Clarke. Some Cixin Liu. I'm set, man. I'm set. Give me some Majo Otoro. At any rate, I could keep yapping about books, but I will spare you. Owen.
Yeah, we are over 3 hours.
I don't know if I have much else to talk about, because I could talk about movies, but what have I watched recently? I watched Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai. Oh, you ever heard of Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai?
No.
Man. That's a shame. It's a pretty fun Jim Jarmusch movie from 1999. I know it was one of them. Soundtrack done by one of the members of Wu-Tang. I can't remember which one off the top of the dome. But if you want to see Forrest Whitaker fuck some people up while ostensibly being a samurai working for an Italian crime family operating out of a Chinese restaurant, it's pretty fun. It's a fun time. I almost watched it because I had watched Branded to Kill sometime in the spring, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Seijun Suzuki, that's my guy. And I've been wanting to watch some Jarmusch movies since like the fall when I was talking to a professor. A professor was talking about him, I think because we started talking about Jay Hawkins. Oh, and do you know Screamin' Jay Hawkins? You should. Like the musician.
The name, yes.
I Put a Spell on You. That's the
Yes.
big one. Yeah. Because he was.
Took me a second to attach a name to a person because I'm bad at names, but yes.
Yeah, because he starred in a couple of his movies. Because Iggy Pop's in one of Jarmusch's movies for some reason. We've also talked about Iggy Pop on this for some reason before. I don't remember why. We did.
That feels like right, but I don't know why.
I just remember making like the heading for like that timestamp. Did Iggy Pop beat the allegations? I can't remember why we started talking about it in the Elden Ring episode, but we did. At any rate, Ghost Dog pretty fun.
Oh, are there timestamps? And are there?
Not in the
segment?
upload. I made some for me, and then I got rid of them because I didn't want to put them in the video because I didn't want to commit to doing that.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially because all of these have ballooned in length.
Yes. Considerably.
And like what else? I watched Investigation of a Citizen of a Suspicion because Bopper was talking about it. That's also fucking sick, but in the way it's much more straightforward way of it's just a 1970 Italian crime film about how the police suck. Not self-evident. I could always talk about funny games because Owen, now you've really got to watch funny games after Viv's video. That's all I gotta say on that.
Well, speaking of movies and Bopper,
Tampopo!
I'd love to hop into Tampopo.
Yes.
I've been meaning to watch Tampopo for a long time now.
Yeah.
Just never gotten around to it.
I mean, that can happen. That can happen easy. So that's an easy one. That's a classic.
Oh.
Is it time to wrap it? Is
Media.
it time for... Yeah, media, art. What a crazy world, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, and is it time for our list of unhappy compromises?
Sure, man.
I'm now called. That's what we're calling it now. That's what I've decided right now.
Calling what?
Our ranking. Our ranking. We have to rank
the
list of unhappy compromises because we both have to agree.
I don't know how much we're gonna disagree on this one.
So, of course, the list for those listening at home, just to keep score, we have at the bottom, Tales of Monkey Island, and then Sunless Sea. Is it C's or C? I can never remember. I think it's... Oh,
C.
which one? C? Okay. Sunless Sea. And then Elden Ring. And then at the top, on the throne, the king, eternal, unbreakable, immortal, the 100-line Last Defense Academy. Oh,
but it's so unbreakable that we, like, barely even...
Yeah, that's why it's on its own throne.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
Starting from the bottom. Let's start from the bottom. Is 100-line better than Tales of Monkey Island?
Definitely.
Yes. Is it better than 4 hours of Sunless Sea?
Than 4 hours of Sunless Sea? Definitely.
That's what I would say. Is it better than Sunless Sea as a general?
Is it better than Sunless Sea in general? And, like, I have a very different experience with Sunless Sea than you, but you were thinking of all it could be based off of your experience with it.
Yes.
And I don't know how to rank based off of that, but my happy spot for this would be after this and before Elden Ring.
I can take that. I, of course, would, if I were just ranking these on my own, I would, of course, place it well above Elden Ring, but on this list, I can absolutely take it being between.
Well, if we were doing this on our own, Sunless Sea would be at the top for me because it's like a magical thing for me. But we played 4 hours of it, and I wouldn't curse you to play a full playthrough of it.
All right. So
because
new list.
What the hell is a full playthrough about Sunless?
New number 2, Fire Emblem Genealogy.
New number 2.
All right.
Yeah.
I can accept that. I think I'm pretty happy with that.
I don't think a whole lot's gonna change at the top for our next episode, but we'll see about the episode after that.
Yeah. We will see.
Next episode, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, next episode is 2 short games.
It is another double feature of 2 short,
but this time,
games.
1 recommended by each of us to each other.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Look forward to it. Do you have any closing words, Owen?
On a music tier list, the next one of the 2 that's the next game would be on top.
I know which one is on top for the next game. I'm just telling you straight up.
No. I'm saying music. On music alone, one of the next games is Peak. It's a game sort of kind of about music a little bit.
I don't know I don't think that's the plot to Castlevania Rondo of Blood.
You think Rondo of Blood's soundtrack is better than Transistor?
And it's not even close.
That's crazy. Transistor is one of, like, the top soundtracks of any games I've ever played. Man. And we're never bringing Disco Elysium here because we've both played it.
Yeah.
But Disco Elysium, Disco Elysium, Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley? Are you out of your mind?
Yes.
Okay, next episode's gonna be violent.
Transistor, but I do think Sunless Sea and Sunless Skies are good, but they're not like the best. But no, Transistor and Hades have music. Although I've been playing a little bit of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Holy shit, that's something. It's fucking something.
There are tunes in there. I've heard some tunes. I'm like, okay, it got some tunes.
But the game that maybe takes the cake on tunes, maybe okay, no, Disco Elysium is the best. It's the soundtrack I listen to outside of gaming the most by far, and outside of D&D. But a game that is on my list for you to play, probably the next thing you will play after. Oh, I guess we're done. We're done the next game. So I guess the next game has the other sort of soundtrack slot I'd put with Transistor and Disco Elysium. So Roar has good music.
Roar is good, yeah. I've never said otherwise. Banging.
Yeah, I was just like thinking about games and music. We're gonna have like a VGM focus episode one of these days.
Yeah, next one. Because there's not gonna be a whole lot else to talk about, right?
That's true. Yeah, I guess our VGM episode. But that's such a shame that we won't be able to get my next suggestion for you, in the VGM episode.
You can still just talk about whatever we want, Owen. We're in charge of this podcast.
Yeah.
We decide what to do.
That's fair.
So, that's that.
Pilatra is the best VGM of all time.
You should kill yourself.